And the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats are getting ready to come onto the field here at Tennessee Tech, and you're watching on Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15 and on YouTube, just moments away from the Blue Cross Bowl, the state championship ball game. We'll be back on FM 92.7 in a moment. Welcome back to Tennessee Tech, getting set for the Blue Cross Bowl, the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats and the Spartans of Summit. Summit comes into this game with a record of 13-1. The Wildcats come in at 11-3 on the year, James. Let's go down here in a moment to Alex Myers. Alex Myers is down on the field, went into the dressing room with the Wildcats and had an opportunity to listen to Coach Gaddis' message to the team. And obviously, when Coach Gaddis is fired up, as he is just about all the time, especially in a state championship game, I'm sure that place was bouncing off the walls in there.
Yeah, I'm sure it was, David, as he probably had a really good speech last week talking about the importance of it. And this game is even more important, and I wish I could have been in there just to hear that.
Well, I'm going to let you coordinate with Alex to get him on the air here as the Wildcats are watching the captains from Summit come out of their tunnel. The Wildcats are already out of the tunnel and are in kind of a Blue Cross, kind of an inflatable kind of archway that they're about to run through, as the Wildcats are going to be wearing their all Cardinal pants. They're brand new Cardinal pants. They're white jerseys, Cardinal numerals. Wildcats came out maybe a little bit too early here, James, as Summit, the captains are about to go. And should we go on down to the field to Alex Myers? Let's do that. Alex?
Jackson Adams, the lone captain, the senior for the Wildcats, out here tonight. Look across the way. Summit has 4. Oak Ridge sending just 1 out, senior Jackson Adams. In the locker room before the game, it was a quiet yet confident and a little bit of swagger filled the locker room amongst players, coaches. Coaches were pretty quiet until Gaddis came in there, of course. His message was one we heard on the Wednesday night show and on the pregame show as well. A simple, calm, yet confident message. Defense is going to win this game. He said if the offensive line plays better and opens up holes for Kendall Jackson to run in, we will have success. Special teams important, of course, he noted that, but he wanted to focus on the offensive line, creating running holes for Kendall, and of course the defense. He said, of note, he thinks Oak Ridge has the best defense in the state. Tonight, certainly they're going to be put to the test. Dave, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Alex. We appreciate that. The Oak Ridge crowd making noise across the way. The Summit crowd right here in front of us. We are on the home side here. The captains are getting ready to go out to the center of the field. The Wildcats are going to be represented by Jackson Adams and 4 captains for the Summit Spartans. You've got the starting lineups here, James.
Yes, David. For the Wildcats on offense will be Mitchell Gibbons at quarterback. Running back will be Kendall Jackson. Your receiving core, including possible slots, will be Jonathan Stewart, Brandon Hayward, Preston Turner, and Jabryce Taylor. Your line for the Wildcats will be number 55, Jackson Adams, number 66, Robert Hill. Ethan Hewitt is your center. Kason Staggs is your right guard, and your right tackle is Michael Walker. Your defensive lineup for the Wildcats will be defensive end Jackson Adams, defensive tackle J.K. Morgan, nose guard Isaiah Boone, defensive end Kai Hirsch, Jacob Bervin, Brian Kelly, and Jaden Elam are your linebacking core, and your secondary is Preston Turner and Matthew Swigert at corners, and safety is Jonathan Stewart and Cole Adams.
Gavin Wells is the captain for the Summit Spartans, and we're about to have the toss of the coin. The officials, and we can hear it just echoing all around the stadium here. The Oak Ridge is called heads, and we'll see what it is. The PA system is tails. So the Wildcats have lost the toss. Summit will, they want the ball. So the Wildcats will get the ball in the second half, and we're about to get underway. James, just your final comments as we get ready for this state championship game, the Blue Cross Bowl here at Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, David, as we're about to start here, I think that's a wise decision by Summit to take the ball. I think that's their best side of the ball. Obviously, they have their quarterback and his brother returning, but that's also Oak Ridge's best side of the ball defensively. So that's Oak Ridge defensive strength. As Alex mentioned, Coach Gaddis doesn't think there's a much better defense in the state besides Oak Ridge based on how they played so far. So it should be interesting. I think the key for the game tonight is going to be Oak Ridge on offense and having to move the football and keep consistent drives going. I think Oak Ridge is going to be able to get a couple stops here on defense.
Good turnout of fans here on both sides of the field. The Wildcats, as I look at the sizes of the teams and looking at the rosters here, as the Spartans come onto the field here, they're wearing, looks like all blue and white. The Wildcats, as I mentioned, in their cardinal white and cardinal numerals. A bigger team in terms of numbers as the Wildcats are coming onto the field as well. And we're about to have this state championship game. It has been so long, James Branson, 15 years since we've gotten a chance to call an Oak Ridge game in a state championship environment. You were on that team. What was going through your all's head at this point?
I think the thing that I remember, Eli Manning and I were talking about this just today. One of our teammates, the starting guard on that team, he was talking about, there was almost a surreal moment that you're in warm-ups and you go, we're in the state championship game. Like, this is what we wanted to play for 4 years, and we're here, and we got to do it as seniors. That was really special. Another moment that stuck out was just the National Anthem. Right before you take the field, that's one of the last things that we did, and that was always special because we had all of our seniors lined up right there together. So I will tell you this, there's no feeling like this. You would love to play it at Blankenship Field, but just to get to the pinnacle, as you said, of high school football, this is a special moment for the seniors and the entire team.
The good news for the fans here, it was rainy, misty, all the way as we were bringing our equipment up to this very, very small press area that we're broadcasting from. But it looks as if, to me, the rain and mist has stopped, and the fans are going to hopefully have an enjoyable night of football. And the Wildcats, it's been since 1991, 29 years since the Wildcats won a state championship. As here we go, they're going to drop back number 10. Back to receive the kick, and you'll have to help me. They don't have a numerical roster. On one side of it they do, as number 10 for them is going to be Brandon King, or is it Max Barrage? That's the guy. They have two number 10s on their roster. They've got a whole lot more players than do the Wildcats, as Tyler Dunham will be kicking off for the Wildcats. As we look from the home side here at Tennessee Tech, he'll be kicking from right to left. The Wildcats in their cardinal pants, white jerseys, cardinal numerals. Tyler Dunham getting ready to kick off this state championship ball game. Are you nervous there, James?
A little bit here. Just I think as a fan you get all excited because this is what you live for if you're a Wildcat fan.
Ball is on the tee. The officials are ready, and here we go. The state championship game is underway. It's a pop-up kick. Is going to be fielded at the 15 to the 20. And the Wildcats make the stop at around the 27-yard line, and that is where the Summit Spartans will take over. First down, 10 yards to go. They'll be moving from left to right. Talk about these twins we're about to see.
Yeah, they're very good. Obviously, they're juniors, so they're going to be coming back. The quarterback is really athletic. He can run really well. He's hard to tackle. He can escape the pocket very easily. He's also got a cannon of an arm on there, and the brother is pretty good as well. He's coming off an injury, so it'll be interesting to see how he recovers.
Keaton Wade is the quarterback's name. He is in the shotgun. He's got two receivers split to his left. He's got one lone running back. The Wildcats have four on the front. First down, 10 yards to go. Opening play. Hand off to the running back, and he finds a big hole. Moves the ball across the 27. Got around to the corner there and picked up good yardage. A gain of about 5 on the play.
David, as that was Burge again, I believe, that ran that ball off tackle there. And really good job by the Wildcat defense because the first play last week against Henry County, that went for a touchdown. So the Wildcats have already made a little bit of positive progress here.
Two receivers split to the left side. Number 2 is Caleb Jolly. He's a senior player. He's a receiver split to the right. Coverage on him by Matthew Swigert. Up to the line will come Wade once again, looks over to the sideline. Second down, we'll call it 4 yards to go. Just underway, the Blue Cross Bowl here at Tennessee Tech. Wade, once again, will roll to his right, hand it to number 10, and he moves for a first down. Got to do a much better job. I think the Wildcats have been told that they need to watch Wade. They've got to watch the other guys as well.
Yeah, Jacob Burvin there on the tackle for the Wildcats as he came from his linebacking position to make that. Barrage so far is not a very speedy back that he's shown so far, but I think they're very concerned about Wade and making sure they shut down Wade, as you said.
Ball is at the Summit 45-yard line. They're moving left to right here. First down, 10 yards to go. 10:53 to play first quarter. Scoreless game just underway. Quarterback Wade, lone in the backfield. He's going to hold the ball, run the ball himself, and he's got good yardage. Gets to the outside. Cole Adams to beat, and he does tackle him at around the 35-yard line. That time, quarterback got the ball and just kind of scooted up the field. The Wildcats had one guy, and that was Cole Adams. It'll be 1st and 10 for Summit.
Yeah, it was a really nice block there by Jolly for them, number 2, their receiver that made a block on one of our defensive backs. It really sprung that play loose for Wade, and as you said there, Cole had to make a nice tackle.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the Oak Ridge 35-yard line. They're moving left to right here. Handoff goes to Barrage, hitting the backfield. He is going to be dropped for a loss of about 2. The Wildcats stop him this time back at the 36-yard line. Jackson Adams there on the stop for the Wildcats. It'll be 2nd down and 11 yards to go.
Yeah, Jackson Adams really set the edge hard there, but it was Jaden Elam that came in from his outside linebacker position, and really just the flow of the other linebackers, including Kelly and Bourbon, really sewed it up there and caused a 2-yard loss for the Summit Spartans here.
Exactly 10 minutes to go here in the first quarter, just underway. They've picked up a couple of first downs here. They've got it 2nd down, a long 11 to go. The ball's at the Oak Ridge 36-yard line. Single coverage on the receiver, split to the right. Wade's going to hand it off to the back once again. He's going to be hit again in the backfield. Flags are down. We might have a face mask. Jacob Bourbon there, along with Brian Kelly, might have gotten him. These Middle Tennessee refs say that it might be a face mask. We'll have to check the call.
I was wondering if it was going to be a holding call there, though. But, no, you're right, David. It was a face mask on them, I guess. The running back number 21 for them, who is a diploid, sorry. He must have got his hands in Jacob Bourbon's face mask there as he was trying to stiff arm him.
So the Wildcats watched him step backwards here. 9:38 to play here in the first quarter. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge and the Spartans of Summit. Well, obviously, the two teams had never played. This is a very young team. They've been to the state championship. This is the 2nd consecutive year as they move the ball all the way back into Summit territory, back at the 47-yard line. That's a big penalty.
It's a big penalty, but I think Wade, their quarterback, has the legs and the arm to get a lot of chunk yardage back here, David. So the Wildcat defense has to be prepared on this play. 2
receivers to the left, 2 to the right. The Wildcats, it is for them. 2nd down and a long, long ways to go. The ball at the 38-yard line. Wade's going to pass. Fires a pass. Is going to be caught. And moving the ball back to the 40-yard line. It'll be for the Summit Spartans. Still 3rd down and extremely long.
Yeah, there's a little hitch route there thrown by Wade to Barrage, his running back / receiver, split out really wide. Pretty decent coverage there by Matthew Swaggart, as it looks like it's probably going to be close to 20 yards for the first.
It would be very helpful if they had the scoreboard correct. It's still 2nd and 10 down there. It is 3rd and 17 yards to go. They don't even have it up on the scoreboard. Why do they have it here, James Branson? Ball's at the 40-yard line of Oak Ridge. 9 minutes to play first quarter. Wildcats showing blitz. Wade has all day to pass. Goes down the way. Passes there. It's going to be caught anyway. The pass interference is going to be called against Jonathan Stewart. He had a strong arm down the field there. Pass is caught at the 3-yard line. Ball was in the air forever, but what a strong arm by Wade.
Yeah, David, really strong arm there. And I would actually argue that was underthrown because the receiver had to slow down Pierce, number 13, for the Summit Spartans. But Jonathan Stewart was not necessarily in bad position, but the receiver slowed down because the ball was underthrown, which caused the interference, unfortunately.
And that'll be a first down goal to go. The ball is at the 3-yard line. The scoreboard says 1st and 10. Who's running this scoreboard over there? 8:51 to play here. It's hard. We're a long ways up here. It's going to be hard to see here if they don't keep the scoreboard up to date.
Well, that and they're on the opposite side of the field from us, which makes it hard too.
It is first down goal to go. The ball's at the 3-yard line. Wade brings them up. 8:40 and counting here in the first quarter. Summit knocking on the door for the first score of the ball game. They'll come once again. Shotgun formation. 1 lone running back. Barrage gets the handoff, and he moves the ball to the 2, and it's pushed back by the Wildcats. It'll be 2nd down, goal to go.
Yeah, David, you could say he was tackled by a barrage of Wildcats on that play there, as many of them came from their linebacking positions to set up the 2nd down short.
8 minutes, 15 seconds to play. The opening drive of the ball game. The Spartans trying to take it in. It'll be 2nd down, officially still around the 3-yard line. Once again, Wade brings him up from the shotgun. They list him as 6'4". He doesn't look that big. He's going to carry the ball here into the end zone. That is a touchdown. Went around the left side, and it is 6-0.
Yeah, David, I thought they might run that on the first play, down on the first down play. he's just one of their best athletes, so why not get him the ball? You've seen what he can do with his legs, and it's just a short yard to go, and you just got to pick it up there. And it looks like they're going to attempt the extra point here.
7:57 to play, first quarter. State championship ball game here at Tennessee Tech. 6-0 our score. They go for the extra point. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick is on its way. It's up, and it looks good. 7-0 our score. Summit on top of the Wildcats. We'll take a break. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back to Tennessee Tech University following this 60-second timeout. Welcome back once again to Tennessee Tech University. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge trailing by a score of 7-0. Very impressive drive, helped by a long pass play. And they were able to take it in 2 plays later, and they lead Oak Ridge by a score of 7-0. Wildcat offense coming onto the field. They did a really good job moving the ball up the field.
They did a really good job moving the ball up the field, and the key play there, like we said, was the third down pass interference and catch down at the 2-yard line. If the Wildcats get that stop there, most likely Summit doesn't have the field goal kicker there, is going to have to punt, if not maybe even go for it. So you would have liked the chances had that pass interference not been called, or maybe if even Jonathan had turned around, he probably would have picked it off.
Jabryce Taylor standing back at around the 5-yard line. The Wildcats down 7-0. Appreciate everybody listening to our broadcast. We appreciate all of our sponsors all season long who've been with us since the Hardin Valley game all the way up until now. And it'll be Summit to kick off, and here it is. It's a high kick, short. It's going to be fielded by Oak Ridge at the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, to the 35-yard line. Jalen Hayward still moving all the way up to the 36-yard line, and that is where Oak Ridge will take over. First down, 10 yards to go. Nice return by Jalen Hayward.
Really nice job there by Jalen Hayward. Didn't really see anything up the middle and really kind of came all the way back to the Oak Ridge sideline there. And I think Summit learned their lesson. They don't want to kick it to Jabryce Taylor, but little did they know Jalen Hayward could get it out past the 35-yard line.
Yeah, one thing we've talked about with just about everyone, the Wildcat offense at times has looked very good. At other times they have struggled a bit. Hopefully tonight is the night the Wildcats play like they did against West. Let's see what Mitchell, Gibbons, and company can do here. Starting this drive at the 37-yard line, moving right to left. Wildcats with 2 men in the backfield, including Kendall Jackson. Man comes in motion. Snap is good. The pass is complete. And the Wildcats move the ball down the sideline. And that'll be another flag. We're going to have a hold against the Wildcats. Jalen Hayward. He got up the ball up to the 40-yard line, but then there was I think Jalen committed a personal foul.
I believe so. I think it was a hold there, as Jalen honestly had a nice initial block to start there to get after the little screen pass to Cole Adams. Really nice design by the Wildcats, though, as they fake the run play to Kendall. Everybody's assuming Kendall's going to get the ball and get it out to Cole in space.
Middle Tennessee officials from the Middle Tennessee Association here as they step the yardage off. The Wildcats had a positive play there, but then you just can't go backwards. We saw the Summit team also get penalized at big play. The ball's walked back to the 27-yard line where it'll be second down and 27 yards to go.
Yeah, David, just being able to stay ahead of the sticks or stay with the game plan that you have is so key in these games like this, and you don't want to get backed up and penalized.
Wildcats come to the line. 2 receivers split to the right. Single man to the left side. That is Brandon Hayward. Wildcats 2 running backs. First down, 27 yards to go. Big hole up the middle for Kendall. Stuck at the 30-yard line. Initially, that hole was big, and he hit that hole hard. But then they stick him right at the middle part of the line, moving the ball officially up to the 32-yard line, where it'll be for the Wildcats second down and about 14 yards to go as they finally get the scoreboard right.
Yeah, Kendall had a nice hole on that play. Credit the offensive line. He had to get through that really quick and got a good 6 yards, and that's a good run if it's a 1st and 10. That's puts you in really good field position there, but that penalty really backed him up.
From the 32-yard line of the Wildcats, Oak Ridge down 7-0. 7 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Mitchell Gibbons, a quarterback for the Wildcats. 2 receivers to the right. Mitchell is going to pass, has time, dumps it out of the backfield low, intending it for Cole Adams. That was open. I think the Wildcats, by the looks of it, I think we can move the ball against these guys.
Yeah, definitely, and very deceptive there out of Coach Wyatt and his staff, faking it to Kendall once again and trying to get it out to Cole in space. And I really like Cole in space. Cole has a lot of speed, and I think he could have taken on that outside linebacker pretty easily.
Big play here. It'll be third down, 19 yards to go. It's not 19. It's more like 14. The scoreboard says 19, but it's more like 15 yards to go. The ball's at the 32-yard line. Am I on them too hard?
No, I think this is appropriate, David.
Yeah, it's a state championship game, and the scoreboard isn't right.
Very expensive scoreboard, too.
Exactly, with a huge TV screen. It'll be, as I said, third down. It looks like 15 yards to go. Mitchell to pass. Flags are down on the play. Hopefully no movement. Why don't we check that offensive line there for the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats?
The offensive line is led by Robert Hill at left guard. Jackson Adams and Nick Dallas also come in at left tackle. Ethan Hewitt at center. Kaysen Staggs at right tackle, and right guard is Michael Walker.
False start by the Wildcats. That's a 5-yard step off back to the 27-yard line. So not a great start here for the Wildcats, but all it takes is one big play here as the Wildcats are backed up. The ball is at the 27-yard line. Now it is third down and 19 yards to go. 6:54 to play. 3 receivers split to the right. Coverage on them. Mitchell Gibbons back to pass. Fires a pass. Caught. Cole Adams dropped at the line of scrimmage. They went with the same play, and it'll be fourth down. The Wildcats will be forced to punt.
Yeah, that was number 2, Jolly, on the tackle there, and that's just not a play that you can get a lot of yards on in third and, 19, 15, 18, whatever it was there. And so they really had to go across the middle, and there just wasn't enough time there to get the ball to anybody across the middle.
Third down, it looks like fourth down, 17 yards to go. 6:20 to play. The Wildcats are in punt formation, down 7-0 already. The Wildcats with the 2 punters. Jacob Burvin's going to punt this one away. It's a low line drive kick. It's going to be fielded. Boom! Wildcats make the stop, and they hit him hard right back at the 35-yard line. Great coverage by the Wildcats.
Really good coverage by the Wildcats, and I believe that was Kai Hirsch that got down there pretty quickly to tackle number 13 for them, which is, pardon me, as I'm trying to look on which numerical side. That is Brady Pierce for them. And so it's really good coverage by Kai Hirsch and the gunners out on the sides.
Wildcat defense needs to bow up here. 6 minutes to play here in the first quarter. The Wildcats down 7-0. Got to play great defense against this outstanding quarterback for the Summit Spartans. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball at their own 35-yard line. Movement across the line by Oak Ridge. Wildcats jump off sides. The Wildcats too many penalties early on, James.
Yeah, you're right, Dave. As we jump off sides there, we had a procedure penalty before one of our plays. We had a holding penalty before that, and so it's just not looking good. Pass interference call, even though the ball was caught. So you really just got to settle down here if you're the Wildcats and just play the game that you know you can play.
And you got to understand, Summit was here a year ago, so they're a little bit more experienced than our young Wildcats. But hand it out to the quarterback. Quarterback's going to run it. He's going to get outside and almost turned the ball over. Got the ball at the 50-yard line. Cole Adams, Jacob Burvin there on the stop. It seems like a pretty simple thing to do. Just watch the quarterback, but he is so elusive, and he's so deceptive with his handoffs.
Yeah, Dave, what makes it very hard there is that they pull guards to try to get them out on the edge, but the quarterback is reading the guy in the middle, either Isaiah Boone or J.K. Morgan. So he's the read man, so based on what he does based off of our defensive line.
First down, 10 yards to go in Oak Ridge territory. The ball's at the 49-yard line. They're moving left to right, 5:35 to play. Wade looking at a 4-man front. Quarterback's running again this time. He breaks tackles and up the field he goes. Down the sideline. Wildcats are going to get Matthew Swigert to finally push him out of bounds. They've got to watch him. I mean, they have got to keep their eye on this guy, and it'll be another first down and a great run.
Yeah, that was the zone read there off to the right side, off the right tackle. Basically, that was, I believe Jaden Elam there on the edge, and it was also our defensive end on that side. Both collapsed down, so it left that lane wide open for the quarterback, and it was a really nice job there by him reading it and being able to get out in space. All
the way down to the 13-yard line where it'll be first down, 10 yards to go. 2 receivers split to the right. To the left side, they'll have actually 2 to the left. Nobody on the right side except a slot man. They've got a running back, Barrage. Wade is in the backfield. Man comes in motion. Quarterback's to pass all day. Floats it, end zone, passes there, and it's going to be caught, I believe, for a touchdown. Once again, great pass by the quarterback. and it is 13-0. The Wildcats so far have not been able to slow them down whatsoever.
Yeah, David, but we have a penalty on the play. I believe the slot guy was the one that moved before the play started there for them. Maybe even number 13, the guy that caught it. But, man, what a throw. That guy put it on the money. Wade put it only where his guy could make a diving catch and nobody else.
So the touchdown is going to be wiped off, I believe. They're walking backwards, so that's going to help the Wildcat cause here. A lot of penalties called here in the early going. That wipes the touchdown off, and they're going to step yardage off. 5:19 to play. Illegal shift against the offense. It goes against number 9. 5-yard penalty. And it'll be first down and 15.
Yeah, I'm not really exactly sure why they called the illegal shift there. Maybe he was in motion, but what I saw was the slot guy start his motion or start upfield too early, basically a false start. But either way, it's a loss of 5 yards and still remains first down for Summit.
Ball goes back to the 18-yard line of the Wildcats. Oak Ridge already down 7-0. State championship ball game here at Tennessee Tech. Thanks for tuning us in. The Wildcats have not won a state championship since 1991. It's their first visit in 15 years to the state championship game. 3 receivers split to the left, 1 lone man to the right. The Wildcats showing blitz once again. Quarterback Wade's going to run the ball, nearly fumbled it, and the ball is on the ground, but he grabs it. Picks up his own fumble right around the 13-yard line. Just kind of tossed it up, but he recovered himself. It'll be a gain on the play.
I'm wondering if that was a little bit of an exchange issue there with the running back as it came through the line. The running back kind of clamped down really hard on that read, and Wade tried to pull it, and it kind of bobbled up right before.
Jackson Adams on the stop for the Wildcats. Wade, second down, we'll call it 12 yards to go now from around the 16-yard line. 4:48 to play first quarter. Summit on top of the Wildcats, 7-0. 2 receivers split to the right, 2 to the left, 1 lone running back for Wade. Got to watch where he goes here. He's going to drop back to pass. Fires a pass, caught, and the Wildcats make the stop. That's Barrage right at around the 14-yard line. Not a whole lot of yardage there. The Wildcats make the stop. It'll be third down for the Summit Spartans. Third down, 10 yards to go.
Yeah, really nice tackle on a simple hitch route there in connection to Barrage as Matthew Swigert held up Barrage just long enough, and I think they maybe only got a yard or two on that. But the key there was the flow by linebacker Jaden Elam. He did a great job.
Ball's at the 12-yard line. The scoreboard says 2nd and 12. It is 3rd and 10 at the 13-yard line. Flags are down. It looks like they moved off sides. That's going to be another 5-yard step off. I have been told how good this quarterback is. He is impressive. He has got a rocket arm. He's got great footwork. He is one good-looking player.
He's a really good-looking player, and like I said, that throw that was called back on a illegal procedure penalty, I can't over-exaggerate this enough. He put it only where his receiver can make a diving catch. Even Jonathan Stewart couldn't get to it quick enough.
Third down, 15 yards to go. The scoreboard says 3rd and 10. Ball is at the 19-yard line. 4:32 to play. Destin Wade at quarterback. Back to pass. Pressured. Crossed away. Wide open. Touchdown. Right in the middle of the field. That's 6 more points. Right in the middle of the field. Right at the goalpost. It's 13-0.
You're right, David, as I believe they went with a little fake handoff to hold some of the linebackers, and the slot receiver on the left side of their offense basically ran a little skinny post route right across the middle and right into the end zone, and our safeties weren't able to get to him.
Not a great start for the Wildcats here. A lot of football to be played here, but you got to figure out this quarterback. I mean, just the mixing up of the plays. As the ball is down, the kick is up, and it is good. 14-0 Summit on top of the Wildcats. We'll take a quick break. We'll send it back to the station. We'll be back in 90 seconds. Welcome back to Tennessee Tech. Here's the kick. It's going to be a short one. It's going to be fielded by the Wildcats once again. Jalen Hayward at the 20, to the 25, to the 30, to the outside, to the 40, to the 45, and pushed out of bounds near midfield. It'll be 1st and 10 Wildcats. Nice return by Jalen Hayward.
Really nice job there by Jalen as they kicked it to the Summit sideline right about on the numbers. And Jalen just got behind his blockers and saw an open hole and then cut to the sideline. And he has put the Wildcats in really good starting position in each of their drives. Once at the 36-yard line, now at the 46-yard line.
Wildcats cannot panic. They're down 14-0, but they do have to figure out a way to move the ball. If we get in a shootout, this is not going to be good for the Wildcats.
No, but one of the benefits, not looking too far ahead, is that you do get the ball to start the second half, but you got to close the gap right now.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball at the 46-yard line of the Wildcats. 3 receivers split to the right. Kendall Jackson in the backfield. Kendall gets the handoff, and he's hit at the line and driven backwards. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, not necessarily a bad call there on first down as handoff to Kendall. Basically, you have our 5 linemen, Kendall and Mitchell, in the backfield, so you got 7 on their 6. They only had 6. They had 3 linemen and 3 linebackers there, so should have been able to pick up just about all of those.
2nd down and 9 yards to go. 3 minutes, 54 seconds to play. We're in the first quarter. Wildcats already down 14-0 here in the state championship game. 3 receivers split to the right. 2nd down, 9 yards to go. Senior quarterback Mitchell Gibbons from the 47-yard line of the Wildcats has time, fires a pass, caught. Brandon Hayward. Brandon moves the ball forward for a gain of about 4. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 5 yards to go for a first.
Yeah, and you know what's really nice to see about that is Brandon Hayward getting a catch early in the game. The past couple weeks, he's had a couple drops early in the game and hadn't really been able to get going from that. But it's good to get him a little confidence, especially as a freshman, get him going, hopefully.
Brian Wyatt is the offensive coordinator of the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. The Wildcats coached by Joe Gaddis, assisted by Jeff Miner, Chad Hodge, Barry Saunders, Winston Russell, John Spratling, Tyler Jarnigan, Justin Pace. Here come the Wildcats to the line. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. 14-0 Summit. Wildcats are going to fire a pass. Incomplete. Too hard, intending it for Jalen Hayward. It's 4th down. The Wildcats misfire on that one. A lot of mustard behind that pass. The Wildcats are going to be forced to punt once again.
Yeah, David, and I think that Mitchell maybe threw that just a hair too early because that was right toward the inside linebacker, and he also had Jabryce Taylor out on a little flat route here. But the Wildcats are bringing on the punt team. The Summit Spartans have to be aware because either Preston or Jacob Bourbon has a lot of speed and could fake it here. 4th
down, we'll call it 4 yards to go for a first. As James mentioned, Preston Turner, Jacob Bourbon in punt formation. Jacob's going to punt it. And it's going to go bouncing it around the 25-yard line. It's going to go out of bounds. Officially, they're going to say at the 22-yard line. And that is where the Spartans will take over. 1st down, 10 yards to go. I honestly believe we can move the ball against these guys. Mitchell has had a lot of time. The Wildcat offensive line is doing a good job holding up. They've just got to make some plays.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. As the Wildcats have given, especially the offensive line, has given them time. And I think one of the things that helped the Wildcats on their first drive was just the deception. You know, using Kendall as a decoy and being able to get it out to the flats to Cole or whoever and being able to do that. So I think coming up with something to distract the defense's eyes is really going to help the Wildcat offense.
The bad news is Destin Wade is back out on the field for the Spartans. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Wade's going to run it right up the gut, and boom, he's blasted right at the middle part of the line, gained only about 2. Hardest he's been hit already in this ball game, Cole Adams there on the stop. It'll be a short gain on the play. We'll call it 2. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. 2:34 to play. We are in the first quarter in a 14-0 ball game.
Yeah, David, and it looked like Wildcats were using Cole. They're almost like a spy against Wade, and what I mean by that is he's basically, his man is Wade. He's playing man on Wade, and if, Wade comes up, that's Cole's man because he hit Cole right at the line of scrimmage.
Illegal shift was called against the Spartans, so that's another 5-yard step off. They have been able to overcome anything, any penalties, anything. But the ball is deep all the way back at the 17-yard line now, where it'll be 1st down and 15 yards to go. 2:34 to play first quarter, 14-0, the Wildcats trailing. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. As they move left to right, Wade to pass, crossed away, pass is caught. And then there's a flag down. And up the field, they're going to move the ball to the 40. Wildcats with a hard tackle, Brian Kelly.
Man, what a nice touch pass there by Wade. As any normal pass, that would have been picked off by Jaden Elam. Jaden Elam was standing right underneath that pass coverage. As I think we're going to get a pass interference on Summit here because I believe the outside receiver for Summit was already in the act of blocking, I think, Matthew Swaggart.
Yes, and that is the case. So they are going to step yardage against them. But, man, Wade, he's by far the best quarterback we have seen maybe in a couple of years.
Yeah, and I think maybe the best one since I've personally seen, maybe since Patton Robinette, and I know that's going way back with Maryville.
Yeah.
But he was a really good quarterback. And Wade, the touch that he has is amazing.
Yeah, and he just finds the hole. The Wildcats have got to figure out a way to get a pass rush. The Wildcat ends are Jackson Adams and Kai Hirsch. And speaking of Kai Hirsch, as they step big yardage off, Kai has played outstanding football throughout the postseason.
Yeah, and you've really seen him step his game up. And, what's been a nice change of pace when they bring Kai out from time to time, Trey Rowe is fresh and ready to go. And Trey's really played well all season long. So those two guys, along with Jackson Adams, have done an amazing job at defensive end for the Wildcats.
It's first down and long. The scoreboard says 1st and 8, but the ball is at the 8-yard line. Once again, Wade. Once again, 2 receivers split to the right, 2 to the left. Barrage gets the handoff, tries to get outside and does. He's at the 15, moves the ball, and still on his way. The Wildcats have got to bring him down, and he picks up a first down. However long it was for a first down, he's got it up at the 35-yard line. And what you and I were talking about, James, is their play calling is absolutely, it's keeping me off balance. It's keeping the Wildcat defense off balance.
Well, and what makes it difficult as well is Barrage, number 10, plays receiver and running back. So they can hand it off to him. They can throw it to him. They can put him in motion. They put number 21 out there, I believe, for them as well, and number 13, Pierce. So they've got a lot of different weapons, and they're using them all pretty well.
Well, it's first down, 10 yards to go for the Summit Spartans. Ball at the 34-yard line. 2 receivers to the left. Barrage gets the handoff again, and he's going to here's another flag, probably a hold in the middle part of the line. Man, this crew is flag happy for sure. I'm not saying that they're not happening, but there's just one flag after another.
Yeah, and it's really seeming to slow the pace of the game down. And really, if anything, that this might benefit the Wildcats, as Summit coaches down here are getting very frustrated with all of these penalties. And on that play, that was just a simple double pulling guard, trying to get to the outside, and Barrage allowing him to follow his guards pulling.
2 minutes to play here in the first quarter, 14-0. Summit on top of the Wildcats. Oak Ridge yet to pick up a first down. To my thought, we'll be looking at stats later. And speaking of stats, Mark and Shauna Hate's not with us, and we apologize for that because we wish they were here. But health reasons have kept them away, and usually right on the spot, Mark and Shauna, we wish they could be with us, but unfortunately they are not tonight. Penalty yardage step back to the 21-yard line, where now it is first down and 20 yards to go. 1:48 to play in the first quarter of a 14-0 ball game. State championship game here from Tennessee Tech University. Keaton Wade at quarterback. Marks over the play. His linemen know it, and now play is halted. Timeout is asked for by Summit. Not all the players must have known it. 1:35 to play here in the first quarter. 14-0 our score. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back in 60 seconds. David Clary back here along with James Branson. Lee Wexler's up top in the press box. I know he's enjoying it because Christian and Alex and Matthew Charles are down freezing down below along with Mike Sheehan.
Yeah, David, and they were all giving me a hard time, even some of the people. I'm still wearing my flip-flops tonight, so could not break that tradition.
Okay, let's see what the Wildcat defense can do here. It is first down and long. Scoreboard doesn't say anything. 1:35 to play here in the first quarter. 14-0 our score. First down long. Wade's going to pass across the middle. Pass is caught. And then the Wildcats, Matthew Swigert makes a stop at around the 36-yard line. This is really taxing my math skills here to have to figure out the down and distance here. But what a fine play once again.
Really nice job. Simple RPO there for the Summit Spartans, as basically there's a run-pass option. The slant route there was a completion, I believe, to number 2, Jolly by Wade.
Second down, 9 yards to go, 1:07 to play here in this first quarter. 14-0 Summit on top. The Wildcats shifting on the line. Wade's going to run it. He's going to be moving the ball up the field for first down yardage up to the 45-yard line. He's just so quick with his feet, and he just keeps them going, and he just kind of spins. His balance was outstanding, too.
Yeah, and it helps when you're about 6'4" and can do that as well. And, Wade was really smart. The Wildcat defense wasn't exactly set. It looked like Preston Turner and Matthew Swigert were switching sides a little bit, and Oak Ridge got caught in a switch there, and then the ball was snapped before they were ready.
I see the Wildcats have Ethan Hewitt on the line for the Wildcats. The Wildcats have used him several times this year. Jackson Adams is in there along with Kai Hirsch, and looks like Isaiah Boone. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 44-yard line. Wade hands it to Barrage, and he moves the ball to the 45-yard line, gain of about 2. 30 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Hadn't started the way we wanted it to, James.
No, they hadn't exactly started the way he wanted it to, but the penalties have really kept Oak Ridge in it and alive in some scenarios. But really nice stop there on first down for the Wildcats.
Second down, we'll call it 9 yards to go. 14 seconds to play. Let's see if they even run a play here. I think they will. Destin Wade from the 45-yard line. No, they're not. I think they're just going to let it head to the second quarter with them on top by a score of 14-0. Final seconds tick down, and that is the end of the first quarter. So we have played one quarter of football here at the state championship game, the Blue Cross Bowl at Tennessee Tech University. Summit leads Oak Ridge 14-0. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Welcome back to Tennessee Tech University. The Wildcats down 14-0. And James, you and I are talking during the breaks. We just don't know how we're going to slow this team down.
Yeah, I think we can say, like we've said, we can move. We have the ability to move the ball, short completions on offense, and be able to pick up first downs and keep drives alive. That's the key, because you got to keep Destin Wade off the field, because he's proven that he is probably the best quarterback maybe in next year's class.
So it's got to come down to the offense, to be honest with you, to keep them off the field. It'll be for them second down, 9 yards to go. Opening play of the second quarter. It seemed like it was a long first quarter.
Yeah, and we didn't really get many breaks in there either.
No, 14-0 is our score. The Wildcats trailing. Destin Wade, he is 6'4". He is a man just to look at him from way up here in the rafters. From the 45-yard line, man comes in motion. Destin Wade, all day to pass. Now breaks down, now running. He's in a lot of trouble. Sacked! Back at the 37-yard line. Finally, the Wildcats get some pressure in there. Jaden Elam gets him down. Good coverage, obviously, down the field as the loss is all the way back to the 38-yard line, where it'll be third down and long.
Yeah, it seems like the Wildcats are playing a little bit of man defense there, so it'll be interesting to see how Summit adjusts as the Wildcats are making some subs. J.K. Morgan coming out and Ethan Hewitt coming in. But the Wildcats played man there, and it really slowed down Wade's reads, and really nice pursuit there by Jaden Elam coming all the way from his outside linebacker position.
Big play in the ball game, I think. Third down, 16 yards to go. Ball at the 38-yard line. Destin Wade, two receivers to the right. Wildcats showing blitz once again. Wade's going to hand it to Barrage. He's hitting the backfield. Jaden Elam drops in for a big loss, and the Wildcat defense stops him. And the Wildcats will get the ball.
Yeah, that was Zach Switzer there that they sent in motion and tried to hand it off to him. And a really nice job by Jaden Elam. Even better job, though, by the Wildcat defensive line, forcing Wade to hand it off. And Jaden Elam crashing off the edge, just reading that straight away. Because of that man defense, that was a switch to Jaden Elam there, and that was his man. Really nice job, and the Wildcat offense needs to move the football.
Preston Turner standing back at the 36-yard line. They're in punt formation. It's fourth down. Long. I have no idea how the scoreboard still says 3rd and 16. It's a short punt. Going to take a good bounce, though, for the Summit Spartans. The Wildcats get away from it. They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. I think now it's up there. 4th and 20 it was, James Branson.
I have no words about scoreboards or scoreboard operators or what's going on, David. But you know what? The Wildcats have not really started in terrible field position all night long. This is their third possession. They're out at the 32-yard line, which isn't bad. They started at the 36 on their first drive, and Jalen Hayward, who's probably special teams player so far, has been able to get some nice returns.
Jonathan Stewart, Jalen Hayward, receivers split to the right of the quarterback. Kendall Jackson is in the backfield. The Wildcats have Brandon Hayward along with Jabryce Taylor as receivers to the left. First down, 10 yards to go. Oak Ridge moving left to right, trailing 14-0 at the 32. Wildcats all day to pass. Mitchell now rolls to his right, looks, got to fire a pass. It's incomplete. Intending it over here to Jalen Hayward. Obviously good coverage down the field. But the one good thing, Oak Ridge quarterback Mitchell Gibbons had all day to throw. There was nobody open.
Yeah, nobody was open there. The Wildcats on the left side of him ran two little hitch routes, or one hitch and one curl route. So very similar routes on that side. Mitchell rolled out to the other side because he saw it, didn't see anything on that side. Just not able to get it across the field to Jonathan Stewart. Really smart decision there by Mitchell just to throw it out of bounds and start with second down.
The Wildcats have got to get first downs. They cannot let the defense just stay on the field all day long. Second down, 10 yards to go. Three receivers to the right. Mitchell is going to run the ball himself for a gain of about 3. It'll be third down and long Fake the handoff to Kendall Jackson. Mitchell kind of got tripped up. There was a little space in the middle part of the field, but it's going to be third down and long once again.
Yeah, and what's making it deceptive for the Wildcats is basically there's 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and then they kind of walked the safety back down, and the safety was the one that kind of was able to near Mitchell and kind of made the stop there.
Third down, 7 yards to go. The ball is at the Oak Ridge 35. 9:45 to play in the first half. The Wildcats down 14-0. Wildcats have yet to pick up a first down. Desperately need to move the chains here. Mitchell Gibbon rolls to his right, fires a pass down the way. Got hit, throws it away, and the Wildcats are forced to punt.
Yeah, and was a little nervous on that play as it looked like Mitchell kind of threw it off his back foot a little bit, feeling a little bit of pressure right up the middle. I think he was trying to get it to Jabryce Taylor there on a corner route, and it's just unfortunate because your defense can't stay out on the field the whole game, and you got to be able to pick up first downs.
They've got to be able to run the football. They've got to get, I think, Kendall Jackson outside.
Well, and they got to mix up their play calling as well. I think the Oak Ridge Wildcats do, because that's what has kept the Wildcat defense on its toes, is Summit being able to do that.
Fourth down, Preston Turner will punt. He shanks it straight up in the air. It's going to be very short, and it's going to take a bounce though, a good, okay bounce all the way to the 38-yard line, but just didn't get much into it that time, and it'll be 1st and 10.
Yeah, and I think the Wildcats like Preston having the ability there to fake it if he sees anything. Obviously not the best time to. I think Jacob Bourbon is the better of the two to kick it deep. Jacob not only gets a lot of good height on it, but he also gets it down the field really well too.
As I've been saying here, the offense has yet to pick up a first down, and our defense, although it is a cold night, they have been out on the field the entire first half.
Yeah, and, we've really probably had maybe about 12 plays on offense there.
Here comes Summit to the line. First down, 10 yards to go. Moving right to left, leading 14-0. Wildcats could use a turnover here as Destin Wade with one lone running back, 2 receivers to his left, 1 slot man. Wade is going to hand it to Barrage, and he's got good yardage. 50-yard line, 45-yard line. Tackle up the field at the 43-yard line. Wildcats make the stop out here, I believe, with Preston Turner, Jonathan Stewart, and Cole Adams, but not before they pick up a first down.
Yeah, it looks like the Wildcats were in a basically a 3-5 there as they were trying to go to the defense that got them stops against Sean Gary last week. Basically 3 down linemen, 2 walked up outside linebackers. The problem with that is you can easily, if you miss 1 or 2 tackles, then it's a big breakaway as we saw there.
Ball's at the 44-yard line. The Wildcat defense needs to hold once again. They stopped them on the last series. First down, 10 yards to go. Destin hands it off to Barrage. Barrage is going to be hit and tackled right at the line of scrimmage. I actually like it when they hand it off to him, except on the previous play. It's when Destin Wade has the ball in his hands. That's what's scary.
Yeah, and I think that they're honestly just seeing how much they can get with Barrage and maybe be able to supplement with running with Destin Wade. Obviously, you can't run Destin Wade every play, but, he probably has the ability to.
8 minutes, 22 seconds to play. We're in the first half. The Wildcats are down 14-0, yet to pick up a first down. Really haven't been able to move the ball hardly at all offensively. Pearl defense is out there again. It's second down, 9 yards to go from the 44-yard line. Receivers left and right. The Wildcats showing blitz on Wade. Here he comes. He is sacked. No, he breaks out of that tackle, moves the ball up the field, and now he's tackled at the 40. Wildcats had 4 or 5 shirts that should have dropped him for a loss of about 5, but none of them could get him down. What an elusive guy.
Very elusive, David, as Wildcats had 4 defensive linemen. They brought their 2 outside linebackers. I believe maybe Jaden Elam, I know, was one. I didn't see the other one. But he was able to step out of the 4 of those and then beat Jackson Adams basically to the sideline there. But they said his knee was down at the 40-yard line, so a huge third down in about 6.
Yeah, I think it's 4-down territory for them, honestly, because the Wildcats have not shown the ability to move the football. It is third down, 6 yards to go, 7:22 to play. The ball is at the Oak Ridge 40-yard line. Wade with receivers, 3 to his left. Coverage on him. Wade looks over to the sideline. A new play is signaled in, and now they're going to call a timeout. 7:10 to play. We're in the first half, 14-0. James, you're a football coach. Offensively, what are we going to do?
I think, honestly, like I've said for a while, I think you need to distract the defense. You got to lure the defense's eyes somewhere else. And what was really helping with that, the first couple of plays, we had penalties, but the first couple of plays we were faking it to Kendall and then throwing it out in the flats, or maybe running some RPOs, basically fake it with Kendall or hand it off to Kendall if it's open, or throw it a slant route across the middle. That was open. I think Mitchell, had he waited just a hair more a second later, that he could have had a completion to Jalen Hayward. But I think the offense is the key, like you said here. The offense has to be able to pick up first downs. The offense has to be able to move the ball and eat some clock and keep Destin Wade on the sideline.
Right. It's going to be, when we come back, it's going to be third down and about 6 yards to go. Good turnout of fans on both sides, obviously. It's a COVID state championship. It doesn't look like the 05 game or the 91 ball game, but there are a lot of Oak Ridge fans across the way.
Yeah, and it's nice to see a lot of those people come out. And all the guys that didn't make it and coming out, I think Jordan Murray was texting me and he was saying how he kind of reminiscing of the 05 game. And so we even have a lot of former Wildcats playing or listening and watching the game, as well as our coaching staff, the Robertsville coaching staff, made the trip up.
3 receivers split to the right, single man to the left side, or actually the right side. One lone running back, third down, 6 yards to go. Wildcats showing blitz from the right side. Quarterback Wade across the way, pass is caught, first down and more. Moving the ball up to the field, breaking a tackle, 20. Wildcats, Cole Adams makes the stop. Like I said, anytime, is Preston Turner also there on the stop, anytime Destin Wade makes a play, that's what's scary.
Yeah, and that's Barrage there. They split him out at receiver, basically the far split-out receiver. He was all by himself, just ran a little slant route there as there was off coverage by our defensive back, and it was just an easy completion there for Destin Wade.
Ball's at the Oak Ridge 21-yard line, 6:48 to play. They're threatening to go up 3 scores right here. The Wildcats still yet to pick up a first down. 2 receivers split to the right. Once again, Destin Wade. First down, 10 yards to go at the 21-yard line. Wade's going to run it. And he moves the ball to the 18-yard line before he is stopped by Brian Kelly and a couple other Wildcats. What I like about this stadium, there's several things I'm not too happy with, but what I like about it, the lighting is really good.
Yeah, the lighting is really good, and you can really see the numbers and the colors kind of pop for both teams here, so it's very easy to read the jersey numbers, which makes it great for me.
Second down, we'll call it 7 yards to go. It's a long 7. The ball is inside the Oak Ridge 20. 6:06 to play here. 14-0. The Wildcats trailing Summit. Second down, 6. Handoff Barrage. Barrage moves the ball. Touchdown. If he gets across the 5, he's pushed out of bounds at around the 3-yard line. Once again, the Wildcats just cannot make the stop.
No, they can't make the stop as I believe Summit there was pulling both their guards again. Just a little bit of a power play, getting Barrage out on the edge. One thing that the Wildcats need to be careful of, if Destin Wade goes out on basically a naked bootleg there, he would have been wide open as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if Summit came back with that at some point.
5 minutes, 53 seconds to play. It's first down, goal to go at the 3-yard line. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. The Wildcats have plenty of football to go here. Just got to make some adjustments here. First down, goal to go. The ball's at the 3-yard line. Here comes Wade, touchdown. They score, and it is 20-0. Not pretty, James Branson.
No, not pretty, because the Summit offense basically had 9 guys on the line of scrimmage. They had Barrage in the backfield with Wade, and Wade just followed Barrage. Barrage took the outside guy, which left the inside wide open, and he waltzes into the end zone.
5 minutes, 48 seconds to play in the first half, 20-0. The Wildcats trying to win their first state championship since 1991. They got a lot of work to get done here. They're going to attempt the extra point here. The ball is down. The kick is on its way. It's up, and it is good. 21-0 our score. 5:48 to play first half. We'll be back to Tennessee Tech following this 2-minute timeout. Welcome back to the state championship ball game here. Things are not going the Wildcats' way here. 21-0 our score, but like I've been saying, lots of football. The Wildcats have got to do something. I mean, we've talked about it. A nice kickoff return for a touchdown would be nice. So Wildcats shifting their players around to get in position here. They got to do something.
Yeah, and it'd be nice here if either Jabrice or Jalen or the other Hayward, Brandon, would be able to take it back here.
It's going to be another short kick. It's going to be fielded by Jalen at the 25 to the 30 to the 35 to the 39-yard line. Jalen Hayward on the return up to the 39-yard line.
That's not too hard of a name to pronounce, David.
He said Howard, but that's okay. You know, like Lee said something, it's been a long day for them. This is their third ball game here. This is our first ball game. We'd like to get it right here.
We would, and I think, the offense has to get it right here. Nice little transition there. And maybe, you just got to switch it up a little bit. Try to get Kendall outside. Maybe run some screens with your receivers. Fake it to Kendall. Do something a little bit different.
3 receivers split to the left side of the Wildcats. Have been 3 and out on every possession. First down, 10 yards to go. Good field position again. Kendall Jackson moves the ball forward for a gain of about 2. Does this heater scare you at all, James Branson?
I'm not sure if it's warming us up or if it's about to electrocute us, but one of the two is a possibility, David.
Tennessee Tech is the host of this, and I know they did a bid process here, but this heater down here looks a little bit scary.
Not scary in the fact of it's actually heating, but there's parts and pieces coming off of it.
And wires and stuff.
And you never know what's going to come flying. I think our equipment's plugged up, so we just got to be careful.
Okay, offense, let's get going here. Second down, 8 yards to go, 5 minutes to play in the first half. The Wildcats down 21-0. Wildcat quarter, they're offsides. And there was movement on the line. Good thing, and I didn't say this last week in the ball game, but it's great to see Nick Dallas back out there. He had missed a little time.
Yeah, it's really great to see him out there. And as a senior, Nick hasn't played football since he was in 8th grade at Jefferson. And Nick is a great guy, great player, really aggressive. He's played basketball for us a couple years for Coach Green. And it's really good to see him having success his senior year.
5-yard step off against Summit, so the Wildcats have it 2nd down and 3. So maybe the Wildcats will pick up their first down here. The Wildcats looking at a 4-man front once again. Mitchell looks over the sideline. 4:50 to play here. Wildcats down 21-0. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge, Kendall Jackson in the backfield. Kendall is going to not get the handoff. Mitchell is going to be blasted and will lose about 3 yards.
Yeah, David, what's going to have to happen here is the defense is starting to pin their ears back. They blitz right off the defensive end and the outside linebacker. They're penetrating up the middle to stop Kendall. So at this point, the Wildcats are probably going to have to start throwing some short routes against man coverage, which is not very good.
I think they actually got nice to us where the spot is. They put it down at the 42-yard line. So it's 3rd down and 7 yards to go. 4:10 to play. Wildcats still yet to pick up a first down. Wildcats, 2 receivers. Jonathan Stewart, single coverage on him. Mitchell needs to find him. Wildcats, 3rd down, 6 yards to go, trailing 21-0. Wildcats looking at a blitz. Mitchell throws it, passes there. It's going to be incomplete. Kind of flags are down in the backfield. Let's see if we either have a hold or a late hit on the quarterback.
A late hit on the quarterback would be very good here, David, because it give the Wildcats a first down. Hopefully it's not a hold, because if it is, that's going to force a 4th down for the Wildcats once again.
And no signal yet. It's going to be personal foul, roughing the passer. It'll be a first down. So the Wildcats have their first down, and it comes because of a roughing the passer call.
Yeah, David, and on that formation for the Wildcats, they had Jonathan Stewart on the Summit sideline. Jonathan Stewart just ran a little slant route, and there was nobody in the middle of the field. Number 13, Pierce, for them is their outside linebacker, and he ran right behind him. If Mitchell is able to see that and put it right on him, he picks up a first down, if not big gain, very easily.
Keaton Wade, the brother of Destin Wade, their quarterback, he's a big man too. They're twins. Look at him. He just stands out amongst boys down there.
Yeah, and he's pretty big as well, and he was the guy that I believe came in and hit Mitchell late maybe.
Ball's at the 42-yard line of Summit. 3:50 to play. 1st and 10 Wildcats. The Wildcats pick up their first down via the penalty here. Kendall Jackson in the backfield. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. 21-0 our score. Quick pass is caught by Brandon Hayward, and Brandon picks up about 8 yards on the play. Pass sailed on him just a bit, but Brandon, the freshman, made a nice catch.
Really nice job there by Brandon. And again, 2nd completion to Brandon. So Brandon getting a little bit more confidence here. But even better for the Wildcats, you're on a drive. You're in 2nd and 1 or 2 here. So this is really, really good field position for the Wildcats.
Ball's at the Summit 34-yard line. 3:23 to play first half. 21-0. Wildcats need 7 points right here. Wildcats 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Kendall Jackson in the backfield behind Mitchell Gibbons. He's going to quick pass out there. It's going to be caught. Breaking a tackle. 1st and 10. The Wildcats. Brandon Hayward across the 25-yard line. Great job by Brandon to break that initial tackle and pick up a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down.
Yeah, it's a really nice job there by Brandon, as basically the block was going to the corner that was right on top of Brandon. So the slot went to block the corner. Brandon caught the ball and knew that he had to make that outside linebacker miss. Really nice job there, keeping his feet and getting upfield very quickly.
Wildcats first down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 24-yard line of Summit. The Wildcats down 21-0. 3 minutes to play in the first half. Mitchell Gibbons about to break a long record in a moment in his next pass completion, I believe. Ball is at the 24-yard line. 2 receivers split to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Mitchell's going to pass, fires it in the flats. Miscommunication. There's nobody there.
Yeah, I believe that there was a curl or a comeback route that was supposed to be run, and I think one receiver on that side ran a go route and one receiver ran a post route there, as Mitchell currently has 27 passing yards on the night from what I'm seeing so far. He's 4 for 8.
16 yards away from becoming the all-time leading passer in Oak Ridge High School history. Second down, 10 yards to go, 3:02 to play. The clock didn't move much there. That's good. 21-0 our score. The ball is at the 24-yard line. Second down, 10 yards to go. Haven't even looked Jonathan Stewart's way. He's got coverage split out to the right. Wildcats, quick pass, short pass. He breaks another tackle. Goes out of bounds at around the 18-yard line. Officially, they're going to say that. It'll be Brandon Hayward once again. They're just going to the freshman side.
Yeah, and they're going to his side, and they're basically going to these short route completions to try to continue to get first downs, because these short routes are picking up 4, 5, 6 yards at a time, and Brandon even making a couple guys miss, getting 8 or 9 yards sometimes. So really nice job here by Brandon Hayward getting yards off those completions.
It is third down, 7 yards to go. The ball is at the 19-yard line. Wildcats to the line, 4 down territory. Field goal will not do it. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Mitchell Gibbons, looked like there was some movement, has time, fires a pass, complete, first down and more. He moves the ball inside the 5-yard line. It'll be Preston Turner on the reception. First and goal, Oak Ridge.
Really nice job there by Preston Turner, catching a nice out route right along the sidelines. And what's interesting about almost every single one of these plays is they've been to the Oak Ridge sideline, which is the short side of the field. So you would think that it would be easy for the Summit guys to cover that, but they haven't been able to cover that. I think they've been playing a lot of zone coverage.
2 minutes, 50 seconds to play in the first half. 21-0 Summit. The Wildcats, Mitchell Gibbons. First down, goal to go. Officially, the ball is at the 5-yard line. Once again, receivers, double slot. Wildcat, handoff, Kendall Jackson. Powers his way forward to the 2-yard line. It'll be second down, goal to go. One thing the Wildcats have got to do is they don't want to give the ball right back to Summit with much time on the clock, but they've got to punch it in.
They've got to punch it in, David, but also you said there's about 2:30 left in the first half here. You don't want to leave them too much time because they already go no huddle. On that previous completion to Preston Turner, David, Mitchell Gibbons became the all-time passer in Oak Ridge High School history.
Ball is at the 2-yard line. Second down, goal to go. Kendall Jackson will get the handoff, moves the ball to the 1. At the old goal line, no signal. Looked like he crossed the plane from my vantage point, but I'm about 3 miles up. And they say there's a fumble on the play, but nobody's moving in that direction. The ball is at the 1-inch line. It'll be for the Wildcats. Third down, goal to go. The ball is at the 1-yard line. 1 minute, 52 seconds to play in the first half. The Summit fans not happy. Minute 45, third down, goal to go. You got to get a touchdown right here. Wildcats, third down, goal to go at the 1. Wildcat quarterback Mitchell Gibbons is under center. They need about a foot, and now play is halted. Timeout is asked for by the Wildcats. 97 seconds to play, 21-0, the Wildcats trailing.
Yeah, David, that fact that the Wildcats didn't pick up that first or the touchdown there, obviously you want to be able to do that, but taking more time off the clock is really key here, because Summit basically runs a no huddle, so they can go as fast or as slow at any time in the game as they want to. So this will probably be under a minute and a half when Summit gets the ball back.
Ball is right, looking at it, the nose of the ball is right at the goal line. As they lined up, Mitchell was under center, something we don't see very often.
No, he was under center that play. He was also under center the previous play when the Wildcats had a single back formation there. Basically, Kendall was right behind Mitchell, and there was 9 blockers for the Wildcats on the offensive line.
21-0 our score. The Wildcats trailing here. A minute 37 to play in the first half. Thanks for tuning us in. The Blue Cross Bowl here at Tennessee Tech University.
It's really nice to be here at Tennessee Tech University. You know, my preference would be able to play at MTSU, not just because I went to MTSU, but because I really like the layout of the stadium. It's a really cool stadium, but it's really cool that the Wildcats get to be here back for the first time in 15 years.
James, I'm going to tell you something here, and this is not really bringing anything to me, but this is my 15th state championship game that I have broadcast involving Oak Ridge football or basketball. And that just tells you a lot about our school and about our sports programs.
Tells you a lot about our school, our sports programs, and a lot of the success that we've been able to have. And it also, you're old.
Yeah, yeah. You don't get the chance to do 15 if you haven't been around a long time. And I was talking to Brian Story, a good friend of mine. He and I called the 1988 Girls State Championship win over Shelbyville way back in the day, and I saw him. He's actually the guy doing the commercials down on the field. As the Wildcats have it, 3rd down, goal to go. Ball's at the 1-yard line. Mitchell Gibbons, senior quarterback, under center. Ethan Hewitt, he dives for touchdown, I believe. Play is halted. We might have movement on the line. And if that's the case, that'll be a 5-yard step off. I didn't see exactly what happened. That is a crucial penalty if it's against Oak Ridge. James?
I wasn't exactly able to see what happened on that play. It seems like the officials are discussing it and stepping it off against Oak Ridge, as I believe what happened is the Summit defensive line shifted there at the very end, and that may have caused one of the offensive linemen for the Wildcats to jump off sides.
Big penalty there. The Wildcats are going to have to overcome. It's going to be 3rd down, goal to go now at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, and as you said before, David, this is 2-down territory, so at least this isn't 4th down for the Wildcats. You got 2 downs to get it, but not able to just line it up and run it in as you were before to make it really simple.
You just can't make mistakes like that, James.
No, not especially down here in the red zone.
Minute 36 to play, first half. The Wildcats, 3rd down, goal to go. The ball is resting at the 5-yard line. Mitchell with a man coming in motion to his right. Receivers left and right. Mitchell will pass. Looks, fires it, end zone. Pass is incomplete. At the goal line, intended for perhaps Jonathan Stewart. It'll be 4th down, goal to go.
Yeah, a little bit of a switch route going on there as the Wildcats sent Cole Adams in motion. Cole on a little short flat out route, and Jonathan Stewart was the outside receiver there. Jonathan Stewart ran what we would call a snag, basically runs a hitch to the inside, and Jalen Hayward, I don't know if you saw it, was in the corner of the end zone all by himself on that play, David.
Welcome back to Tennessee Tech University. Things have not gone the way the Wildcats would have liked it to go. Right now it's 21-0, and the Wildcats had the ball at the 1-inch line, jumped off sides. Mitchell had scored a touchdown, but somebody moved, and now the Wildcats have to convert a 4th and goal at just outside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, and this is not optimal position here for the Wildcats, but one positive is that you're still in the position to score some points coming out of halftime here shortly. You will get the ball to start the second half, so those are a couple of positives if you're looking at that for the Wildcats. The
Wildcats will split off 3 receivers to the right, Jalen Hayward, Jonathan Stewart, Cole Adams, I believe. 2 receivers to the left, empty backfield. It'll be 4th down, goal to go. The ball's at the 5-yard line. Mitchell Gibbons, and timeout is asked for now by Summit. 1:31 to play, so coaching staffs for both sides trying to make sure things are right.
Yeah, and I believe that was a smart timeout called there by Summit. A little bit of a different formation for the Wildcats. Obviously, it was 5 wide, but our normal 5 wide set the past couple of weeks has been Kendall Jackson at some point split out. And on that scenario right there, you had Preston and Brandon Hayward along with the other 3 that you mentioned, so all 5 receivers out.
21-0 is our score. The Wildcats trailing the last time Oak Ridge won a state championship. They won 30-0 over Gallatin. That was one good Oak Ridge football team. This is one good football team we're watching here today, but some inexperience, I believe, showing just a little bit.
A little bit of inexperience showing for the Wildcats, just too many penalties that have gotten us backed up from time to time, especially on our first 2 drives. And you were talking about that Oak Ridge team in 91. That was a good Gallatin team as well. Weren't they number 3 in the nation?
They were nationally ranked, and the Wildcats took it to them on that particular night. Oak Ridge ended up in the top 10. And I've said this, if they had not lost to Paducah Tillman, I know Mike Underwood will get mad at me. If they had not lost to Paducah Tillman, they were ranked in the top 20 when the season started. They would have won a national championship perhaps if they had gone undefeated that year.
Yeah, and Paducah Tillman had a great team that year and the year before. It's kind of interesting. And then 90 game, Oak Ridge went up to Paducah and won. 91, Paducah came down to Oak Ridge and won. So it'd be interesting to be able to try to play them at some point in the future.
Yeah, there's obviously a connection with the Plants as well. As here come the Wildcats and here come the Spartans of Summit. The Wildcats have it, 4th down, goal to go at the 5. Wildcats, as I said, they need 6 points right here. 2 receivers to the left, 3 to the right. Mitchell Gibbons has the middle part of the field at his discretion here. Let's see what they try to do. Mitchell looks over the line. Play is halted. And James?
I'm not exactly sure. I guess it looks like Summit was lined up in the neutral zone on that play because nobody from the Oak Ridge had really put their hand down or had time to, so it has to be Summit lined up in the neutral zone.
It is encroachment against them, so that's half the distance to the goal, up to the 2.5, the 3-yard line, so it helps us a little bit. And do you change the play here?
No, I think you stick with the play, and maybe even this opens it up for Mitchell Gibbons being able to run it in, kind of send everybody else out somewhere else, but it looks like the Wildcats are looking to
It's going to be that wheel route to Cole Adams is what's going to happen here.
Well, yeah, that'd be really nice. That's one thing that they run, or the out route. That's what the Wildcats scored on last week.
4th down, goal to go. The ball's at the 3-yard line. The Wildcats with receivers left and right, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Mitchell Gibbons, the only one in the backfield. Man comes in motion. 4th down, Mitchell will pass. End zone, there he is. Touchdown, Oak Ridge. Brandon Hayward makes the catch in the corner of the end zone. And with 1:26 to play, the Wildcats are on the board.
Really nice job there by Mitchell Gibbons, tossing a touchdown to Brandon Hayward. Brandon just basically ran a little stutter go route, very short go route to the corner of the end zone. Both of the guys thought Mitchell that was going to throw it to Preston Turner, who went in motion. And basically a really well executed throw there by Mitchell. Great job by getting on the boards for the Wildcats.
And the freshman has the score. The Wildcats, Efrain Rodriguez, will attempt the extra point. The long snapper is Kai Hirsch. The holder is Hayden Tarwater. High snap. Kick is on its way. It's up. And it is good. And I thought there was a flag at the line. I guess not. The Wildcats are on the board. 1:26 to play in the first half. 21-7 our score. We'll be back with the Oak Ridge kickoff in 90 seconds. Here's Tyler Dunham's kick. He hits it off to the right side. It's going to be returnable at the 15 to the 20. Trying to get to the outside, going backwards, and down he goes. The Wildcats going to drop him. I believe that's the Burv man, Jacob Burvin, who drops him right at around the 17-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Summit.
Yeah, it looks like the Wildcats kicked it deep there with Tyler Dunham to keep it away from Barrage, and the lesser of the two evils on that one would be Switzer, who was number 9 for Summit there. Really nice coverage there on the backside as Jacob Burvin, as you said, got down there and covered and basically forced a very long field for the Summit Spartans.
Still a lot of time on the clock here. 1:18 to play. Timeouts, they only have 1 remaining, but Keaton Wade, he can get them down the field. The Wildcats got to play good, solid defense. 1st down, 10 yards to go at the 17-yard line. And it's going to be Barrage trying to get outside, and the Wildcats, Preston Turner, they drag him down finally at around the 15-yard line. 1:13 to play. We are live at the Blue Cross Bowl, Tennessee Tech University in Cookeville, Tennessee. They want us to say the Blue Cross Bowl. I just want to say the state championship game.
Yeah, it's a really huge play there by the Wildcats as they force Barrage out of bounds basically, and a loss of about 3 or 4 on the play. So this is really going to get the Summit Spartans backed up and probably going to see a lot of passing here from Wade.
But only 4 seconds off the clock here to the 15-yard line. 2nd down and 13 yards to go. Keaton Wade at quarterback, 2 receivers split to the left. Man comes in motion. Quarterback is going to hand it off to him, and he moves the ball up to the 20. And the Wildcats use one of their timeouts right here. It's going to be for the Summit Spartans. 3rd down facing them. 3rd down, and we'll call it 8 yards to go.
Yeah, it looks like Summit's going to be able to run in one more play, and the Wildcats may save their timeout here if they get in a scenario where they can call a timeout on 4th down. Maybe not a bad decision here by the Wildcats.
44 seconds and counting here. It'll be 3rd down, 8 yards to go. The Wildcats down 21-7 in the state championship ball game here at Tennessee Tech. 35 seconds on the clock. The ball's at the Summit 20. Once again, 1 lone running back for them. The Wildcats watch them with a slot. Handoff goes to Barrage, and Barrage is going to be hit by Cole Adams. He doesn't get a first down. It's going to be fourth down, and they'll be forced to punt. Coach Gaddis calls for a timeout with 18 seconds to play. So very conservative and not surprising by Summit there, but the Wildcats might get a nice punt return here by Preston Turner.
Yeah, they might get a nice punt return here by Preston Turner, who can obviously do some damage. And I believe that's Oak Ridge's second timeout, but the scoreboard, once again, is showing all 3 timeouts for the Wildcats, so who knows how many we actually have.
Yeah, exactly right here. 18 seconds to play. We'll have statistics at halftime. I wish Mike was able to come up into the press area here. Mike Sheehan sitting down below us. Maybe he has a scoring summary. Look down there and see if he's doing his writing there. Maybe we can give Alex Myers' mic to Mike to Mike to do the scoring summary.
I don't see Mike down there right now. I think he's sitting on the edge over there on our side that we can't see. But, we always appreciate Mike. Mike does an amazing job with the scoring summaries for us.
Yeah, I wish we had Mark and Shauna here with us, but they were unable to make the trip for health reasons, precautions, and unfortunately they're missing a state championship game. And, you work all season long to get here and unable to go. That's just sad for Mark and Shauna.
Yeah, and it's really cool that they actually get to do stats together. They really seem to enjoy it. And, we miss them because Mark and Shauna, they do a great job. They help us out a lot, not just with the stats, but loading and unloading and packing everything up. We really miss those guys.
And we love their tents, too, when it rains.
Yes, we do.
Preston Turner's going to stand back at the 50-yard line. Their punts have not been strong. Their kicking game doesn't look as strong. It is fourth down. You don't want to jump off sides here. That'll give them a first down. Here comes the snap. The punt is away. It's short, very short, angling towards the Oak Ridge sideline, and Preston's going to watch it bounce. It's going to roll dead at the 49-yard line. The Wildcats they ticked off 2 extra seconds there. It'll be 7 seconds to go. You throw it up and let Jonathan Stewart or Brandon Hayward try to run under it?
I think you do throw it up. You're in the state championship game. This is it's your last game regardless, so why not go out swinging? The key here is you got to be able to give them time because Summit's probably going to come with some type of pressure there for the Wildcat offense.
7 seconds to play, 21-7. Summit on top of the Wildcats as the Wildcats with 7 seconds. First down, 10 yards to go.
Yeah, and the Wildcats, here, one more reason to throw it up. You get the ball to come out of halftime. So if you do score on basically a Hail Mary here, you got an opportunity to even the score coming out of half.
Jonathan Stewart split to the right. Kendall Jackson in the backfield. Jalen Hayward is a receiver as well. 2 receivers split to the left. First down, 10 yards to go. 3-man front, playing deep safety. Mitchell's going to hand it to Kendall, and Kendall breaks a tackle. Kendall cuts back to the left side to the 50-yard line as the first half comes to a close. 21-7 is our score at the half. We're going to take a break. We'll send it off to Brian Bennett. We'll be back to the state championship ball game at Tennessee Tech University following this 3-minute timeout.
James Branson back here in Cookeville at Tennessee Tech University at the Blue Cross Bowl. The Wildcats are trailing 21-7 here over with Summit High School out of Spring Hill, Tennessee. A little bit of a scoring summary here for you. By possession, the Wildcats started on defense first, and Summit went down and took a long drive into the end zone, scored on basically a 2-yard rushing touchdown from Destin Wade, who's kind of been the star of the game so far. They scored with 7:57 left in the first quarter. The Wildcats went 3 and out after several penalties, and the Summit Spartans took over and scored again very quickly on several big plays down to the down inside the red zone with a 18-yard touchdown pass from Destin Wade to Brady Pierce on a really nice post route across the middle of the field. That put Summit up 14-0 with the extra point. Coming back, the Wildcats again got backed up, had pretty good field position on several returns by Jalen Hayward. The first return by Jalen Hayward was at the 36-yard line. The second return was even better to the 46-yard line. Jalen Hayward having a really good night so far for the Wildcats, but unfortunately the Wildcats had to punt once again, and Summit took over. The Wildcat defense was able to step up, though, and in the first quarter with a stop and a punt, and the Summit Spartans had their first punt of the game. The Wildcats eventually, though, had to kick it right back to them, and on the next possession, Summit scored on a rushing touchdown, another 3-yard rushing touchdown by Destin Wade with 5:48 left in the first half. Destin Wade accounting for the 3 touchdowns that you see on the board for the Summit Spartans. The Wildcats, though, get the ball and are able to take it all the way down after a couple penalties back and forth. Mitchell initially took it in. Wildcats were penalized for being offsides. After several timeouts, the Summit Spartans were lined up offsides, so that put the ball at the 2-yard line, and Mitchell Gibbons on that same drive was able to pick up the career passing yardage for the Wildcats. He surpasses Bradley Zolliger, the leader of the 2010 and 2011 teams for the Wildcats. So the Wildcats score with a touchdown from Mitchell Gibbons to Brandon Hayward in the back of the end zone. That put the Wildcats on the board, for the first time with a score of 21-7 with 1:26 left in the first half. And the Wildcats forced a punt on Summit's last drive, as the Wildcats weren't able to do anything with it. We have Alex Myers here in the booth with us. Alex, what are your thoughts here of the first half?
Well, James, it's probably nothing that you guys haven't already pointed out astutely, but, obviously Coach Gaddis in the pregame, as I talked about earlier, he preached 2 things. He thought the defense was one of the absolute best, the Oak Ridge defense in the entire state. I believe that to be true. They showed us that, especially at times, but defenses wear out, and I think your offense, even if you don't score, there has to be momentum in your drives. You have to be able to move the ball a little bit, flip the field like you did on South Doyle, give them bad field position, and also just give those guys on the defensive side a rest, especially when you got guys like Cole Adams, Jonathan Stewart, a lot of Jackson Adams as well, playing both ways. You've got to get some of those guys rest. And as far as, to me, offensively, Dave, obviously that's where the woes are, and James, but I think it all starts with the running game. None of it's been good as far as, you haven't had a lot of success through the air or the ground, but to me, you got to be able to get a running game going. This is 2 weeks now in a row that the offensive line has struggled to give Kendall Jackson a lot of room to work with. He's a big back. Typically those taller, long striding backs need a little bit of momentum to get going. I almost wonder, Dave, if you don't try to get Jabryce Taylor some carries. He's had some success over the past couple weeks. He's maybe a little bit quicker, quicker than fast. And I almost wonder if you don't just try to get him the ball, even if it's not directly a run, a swing pass, just something quick to almost simulate the running game. But James, obviously, good news is got a little bit of momentum at the late second quarter, and barring an onside kick, Oak Ridge will get the ball to start the second half.
Absolutely, and that's one of the positives, that the Wildcat offense will get to go back out on the field where they ended the half. The summaries for statistics for the Wildcats tonight so far, rushing-wise, Mitchell Gibbons has 2 rushes for 3 yards, and he has gained 3 yards, and he's also lost 3 yards, so he has a net of 0 yards rushing. Kendall Jackson has 6 carries, 14 yards gained, 0 yards lost, so he has a net of 14 yards rushing with a long of 5 yards. His average is 2.3 per carry. Mitchell Gibbons for the Wildcats is 7 of 13, not too bad, and he has 47 yards passing. He has the lone touchdown for the Wildcats, and that was what set it up was Preston Turner on a long 14-yard pass that put Mitchell Gibbons over the career passing yards mark set by Bradley Zolliger. Receiving for the Wildcats, Brandon Hayward has 4 receptions for 26 yards and the lone touchdown. Preston Turner has 2 receptions for 18 yards. He had the long of 14 yards. Cole Adams has 1 reception for 3 yards. Jacob Bervin, for the Summit Spartans here, rushing-wise, they are led by Destin Wade, who has 90 yards rushing for the Summit. He is the leader in the game for the Summit Spartans. Brandon King, or I believe that is Barrage. Barrage for them has 10 carries on 57 yards, and Destin Wade has the 2 rushing touchdowns. Brady Pierce has 2 rushes for 30 yards, and John Dippold has 1 rush for -2 yards. The passing game, it's been all Destin Wade. He is 6 for 6 for the Summit Spartans with over 103 yards passing and 1 touchdown, that 1 touchdown being across the middle. Receiving wise for the Spartans, Brandon King has had 3 receptions for 33 yards. Brady Pierce, 2 receptions for 56 yards in the touchdown. And Caleb Jolly with 1 reception for 14 yards. Scoring summary wise, first down, Oak Ridge has had 3. And they have had a total of 14 rushing yards. Passing wise, they have 47 passing yards. The Spartans have 11 first downs. They have 24 rushes for 157 yards. They have 103 passing yards, all of that being Destin Wade. And that is all that I have. And we will take a 1-minute break and be back here in 60 seconds.
If you're Coach Gaddis going in there at halftime, not a lot went your way at all, but the last minute and a half of that half, you got a score, and maybe people forget about it, but you did stop their offense, and they went 3 and out. You get the ball back to start the second half. If you can make something happen, how big would that be?
Oh, we're still in this game. I'm not down on the Wildcats whatsoever at all. You know, we settle down on offense, start getting the ball to Kendall Jackson, and getting to Preston. Turner hadn't even, been a factor in this game yet. I look for him to be big here in the second half, Alec. And, Mitchell Gibbons has settled down now. I think things can go our way much better in the second half. All we got to do is execute, play our game, and I think we'll do very well.
Thank you so much. Can I get a Go Wildcats, Mike Sheehan?
Go Wildcats.
Back to you, Dave.
Thanks a lot, Mike and Alex, down on the field here. Both teams are out on the field getting ready for the second half. The Wildcats are down by a score at the line. 24 minutes of football left. James, the Wildcats still in the ball game, down 2 scores here. They'll get the ball first.
Get the ball first, and it's going to be a huge – get the ball first, David, as you said, and it's going to be a huge first possession. The Wildcats obviously need to get things going offensively and continue to get Mitchell Gibbons going and get the receivers going. I think the best thing that we've been able to do so far is be able to pass the ball, and whether it's been short completions, you have to keep your offense on the field and keep Destin Wade on the sideline.
Wildcats getting ready to return the kick. They've got Jabrise Taylor, Jalen Hayward standing back at the 10-yard line. Their kicks have been short, little pop-up kicks. As we're about to get underway here once again, the Wildcats down 21-7. You're listening game live on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, prepradio.com, and Oak Ridge Schools Television, Channel 15. Here's the kick. It's going to be short, angling to the right side. It's going to be fielded by the Wildcats, and down he goes. He lost his footing there, and they're going to have the ball at the 8-yard line. Unfortunate slip there for Jalen Hayward.
Yeah, I think it's an unfortunate slip, as you never really want to backpedal to pick a kick up, and I think we should have just let Jabrise Taylor return that one because he had the momentum coming forward. But either way, the Wildcats are back on offense, and then we got to move the football here, David.
Moving left to right here in the second half, wearing their all Cardinal pants, white jerseys, Cardinal numerals. Summit wearing what appears to be white football pants, blue, navy blue jerseys, white numerals. Mitchell Gibbons, the quarterback for the Wildcats, starting this drive at the 8-yard line. Wildcats with 3 receivers split to the right, 1 to the left. Kendall Jackson, the lone running back for the Wildcats. First down, 10 yards to go. Mitchell hands it off. Kendall Jackson. Kendall moves the ball for a gain of about a yard.
Yeah, David, it looked like a simple draw play there for Kendall Jackson to start the drive, maybe just seeing what they could try to get. The Summit Spartans made a late substitution in the game, something I haven't really seen yet. They put Destin Wade at corner, David.
Yeah, okay. We'll just tire him out there. But, boy, he could probably pick one off and take it to the house. The guy can do everything. He's really he's one of the best guys that I have seen in a long, long time.
Yeah, and I don't really know of any other quarterback to really compare him to. Maybe I don't know, Peyton Robinette's the closest I got, David.
Second down, 9 yards to go. The ball's at the 9-yard line. Oak Ridge moving left to right here. Wildcats 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. 4-man front for them. Mitchell is going to hand it to Kendall. Kendall's got a hole opening up to the 11-yard line. It's going to be third down and about 3 yards to go.
Yeah, David, it was really actually a pretty good run play call there on that play because the box was pretty empty. The middle linebackers had kind of stepped out, and the Wildcat wide receivers had spread out really wide, so the middle of the field was wide open for Kendall.
Ethan Hewitt, Robert Hill, along with Kaysen Staggs and Nick Dallas on the line. Third down, 3 yards to go for the Wildcats. Mitchell Gibbons, the ball is at the 15-yard line of Oak Ridge. Play clock is down to 16. Mitchell comes up with receivers left and right. Wildcats need 3 to keep the drive going. Down 21-7. Mitchell, quick pass, 1st and 10 Wildcats at the 21-yard line. Nice crisp pass out there, and the Wildcats is caught by Preston Turner. 1st and 10, a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down.
Really nice job there by Preston Turner. He did the key thing first, and he got past the first down marker to be able to get out on his out route really easy, make a nice throw for Mitchell Gibbons to pick up the first down and get the Wildcats outside of their own 20.
Jonathan Stewart will be a receiver, split to the right for the Wildcats. The ball's at the 22-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go, 10:06 to play. We're in the third quarter. The Wildcats need long drives here. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Kendall in the backfield. Mitchell's going to pass again. Pumps is going to go deep this time. Passes there. It's overthrown, incomplete. Could have been picked off. They had 2 13s going for it, and that one was almost picked off by their 13.
Yeah, that would be Pierce for them. He came from his safety position there, David, as Brandon Hayward a little bit over his head, and it's actually a decent overthrow by Mitchell there as nobody was able to get it. And the Wildcats went with a little bit of a double fake there, trying to get Summit to suck up on the out route.
Second down, 10 yards to go. The Wildcats with the ball at their own 22-yard line, down 21-7 in the state championship ball game. Wildcats played Ravenwood in 2005. The final score of that game was 14-7. We don't want to talk about that, I know, James.
Nope.
Second down, 10 yards to go. 3 receivers to the right. Handoff, Kendall Jackson. Nope, it's going to be Mitchell across the way. Complete for a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down at the 45-yard line. Another nice reception, but their flags are down on the play.
Looks like it might be in the area of holding right at the line of scrimmage, but my goodness, Brandon Hayward, what a night he's having, showing out here the freshman is.
But what a great throw, too. I mean, that was a great throw. Unfortunately, he might have had a little help. No, it's an eligible receiver downfield.
Yeah, and it looks like one of our linemen just went a little bit too far downfield on the block there. But, you know, that's what Oak Ridge needs. We need to basically draw everybody up, fake it to Kendall Jackson, really drew the linebackers up and opened up the passing lane for Brandon Hayward right in between the 2 safeties there on that field, or on that play.
17-yard line is now the line of scrimmage. The Wildcats have it. Second down, 15 yards to go. 9:46 to play. We're in the third quarter, 21-7. Summit on top. They're out of Spring Hill, Tennessee. Not an old school at all. They've been to the playoffs several times. They were in the state championship game a year ago. Let's see what Oak Ridge can do here.
Yeah, it's going to be a big down here. You don't need to really pick everything back up, but you need to get back into good third and medium position after the second down.
Second down, 15 yards to go. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Mitchell, all day to pass, pumps, going to run the ball himself and going to gain only about 2. It'll be third down and about 14 yards to go.
Yeah, it looked like Mitchell was looking off to his left there, kind of pumped on the short route, maybe trying to go back to Brandon Hayward there, but it didn't look like there was much coverage on Jonathan Stewart down here toward the Summit sideline, so Mitchell just tucked it and got as much as he could.
You know, the defensive backs over here, they're going to quit guarding Jonathan because we're not even really looking in his direction.
Not really looking at him. I think the only time that we did is maybe when we tried to throw the little short hitch route to him at the goal line.
Wildcats have it, third down, 13 yards to go. The poor punt return set up bad field position, and, of course, that big play after a big gain. Mitchell to pass across the way, wide open, passes is going to be incomplete. Wow. Wildcats intending that one to Preston Turner. Looked like he kind of broke off his route just a little bit, but it'll be fourth down. The Wildcats will be forced to punt.
Yeah, it looked like Summit was bracket coveraging Preston Turner there. He had the underneath guy, the safety coming up and playing the underneath, the corner playing over top and man coverage there. And Preston just not able to break off his route and get to the throw there. A little bit of an overthrow, I think.
James, you know, just little mistakes the Wildcats are making, and you just cannot make them against good teams. The Wildcats, Jacob Irvin's going to punt. High kick short, and it's going to go angling and take a bounce. It's going to roll dead at the 47-yard line. One of the few times Jacob didn't get a really good punt off.
No, and I think Jacob was a little unsure there. Obviously, he was checking to see if he could run it there and, you know, on the fake that they would normally do. But I think he got a little rush there toward the end and just kicked it as best he could. But Summit is going to start in Wildcat territory here.
Back to my point, once again, you just cannot make little mistakes like the Wildcats. The Wildcats had a first down near midfield, but an eligible receiver downfield. Just little things like that against good teams.
Well, and it's been penalties all night long that have really gotten the Wildcats in bad field position, especially offensively.
3 receivers split to the right. First and 10 in Oak Ridge territory at the 47-yard line. Destin Wade Junior quarterback is going to roll to his left. Wants to hit to the outside. He's going to be tackled. Wildcats drop him after a gain of about 4 by Jacob Burvin. That time he looked a little slow coming out of there that time.
Yeah, and he tried to stutter step. Jackson Adams did a really good job by trying to play contain there and not let Destin Wade outside. So that kind of slowed him down a little bit of when he stutter stepped.
8 minutes to play here in the third quarter, 21-7. The Wildcats trailing. Destin Wade, second down. We'll call it 6 yards to go. It's a long 6 to go. Once again, man comes in motion, sets up in a slot. 2 receivers to the right. Quarterback hands it to number 21. Boom, he's tackled. Wildcats there with Brandon Hayward playing defense tonight as well.
Yeah, it's a really nice job there by Brandon Hayward. It looks like he may be playing safety as Jonathan Stewart is not in the game for the Wildcats.
Big play in the ball game. Third down, 5 yards to go. The ball is at the 43-yard line. The Summit Spartans going right to left here. Destin Wade looking over to the sideline.
Yeah, it could be a huge stop here for the Wildcats, and if I'm Summit, I think I might punt this if I don't pick up this first down here.
That's wishful thinking there, James Branson. 2 receivers to the right. Nobody in the backfield at all except Destin Wade. Man comes in motion now, and he's going to get the handoff. Fumbles the football. Who's got it? Oak Ridge has it. The Wildcats recover it. Either Cole Adams there on the recovery. The ball at the 48-yard line. Big play, hopefully a big momentum shift.
Huge momentum shift there, David, as a nice job there by the Wildcats. I was a little concerned at first. It didn't look like any of our defensive linemen knew it was on the ground, but don't worry, Cole Adams came sprinting in to get on the football. It was a missed handoff there between Pierce and Wade. Pierce came in motion and just not able to get a good exchange there. Maybe Wade was trying to keep it out the backside, not really sure. But one good thing to see, Jonathan Stewart is back in at receiver here, so he is not hurt.
21-7, the Wildcats trailing here. First down, 10 yards to go in Summit territory. The ball at the 48-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Mitchell Gibbons to pass across the way. Pass is incomplete. Too high on Jalen Hayward. That's one of the things that I love Jalen Hayward. He is so quick in space, but you can't throw high to him because he's not a tall receiver, and if you sail it, sometimes you might be in some trouble.
Yeah, David, and that was a tough window as well because you had Destin Wade in at corner guarding Jonathan Stewart there and the safety, so it's a very tight window in between those two, so at least Mitchell didn't commit a turnover there as well.
Second down, 10 yards to go. The ball's at the 48-yard line. 6 minutes, 58 seconds to play third quarter, 21-7. The Wildcats with the ball at the Summit 48-yard line. Moving left to right here. Mitchell Gibbons with Kendall Jackson in the backfield, and Kendall gets the handoff. Kendall, big hole, moves for a first down, blasted, but not before he gets to the 36-yard line. A 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down.
Really nice job there. That's what you want to see from the Wildcats is a zone read. Mitchell has the ability to keep it. What's even more dangerous is when Mitchell just stands there and hands it off, and the defensive end just came crushing upfield, and Mitchell just had a simple handoff, and Kendall with his longest run of the night, probably about 12 yards there.
I honestly thought he might take it to the house, actually, because he got into that second level there and almost took it, then got blasted at the end. First and 10, Oak Ridge, the ball at the 36-yard line. 2 receivers to the right. Mitchell to pass. Quick pass. Oh, it's Brandon Hayward, the intended receiver. Was cut inside, actually was running and moving the ball before he actually caught it, but you can't fault anything Brandon's done tonight.
No, Brandon's been the standout player for the Wildcats so far tonight, along with Mitchell Gibbons trying to get the ball to him. Really not a bad design play there. Brandon getting on a little screen pass, had a nice block there by Preston Turner, but what was really impressive about that play was the other Wade brother, Keaton Wade, nearly picked off the pass that was tipped there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Both of the twins. I mean, you take those two guys off this field, I don't know what kind of a team they have there.
It's a different ball game.
Yeah, second down, 10 yards to go. The ball's at the 36-yard line. Kendall gets the handoff and drives forward and has a nice gain across the 30. Kendall, his strongest run, moves the ball officially to the 29-yard line, and that's close to another Oak Ridge first down. Not quite, but it's a fine run.
No, and it puts you in really good position here in third down. Basically, you can call any pass play or any run play that you want, and it looks like the Wildcats maybe are lined up to run it again with Kendall behind Mitchell.
2 receivers to the left, once again 2 to the right. Once again, the Wildcat offensive coordinator, Brian Wyatt, signals in a new play into Mitchell. 6 minutes to play in the third quarter, 21-7. The Wildcats trailing Summit in the state championship game. Mitchell He's going to hand it to Kendall, and this time, he passes it off to Jabryce, who has a first down. I was totally fooled on that. I'm glad I was, because it's a first down at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, Kendall got killed on that play as he took the brunt of the blow, but Mitchell pulled it there, and this is really basically kind of an Auburn-esque type play. This is a play that Auburn runs all the time. Mitchell pulls it and basically has a little easy screen pass completion to the side.
There's a flag down right in front of the Oak Ridge bench over there. They're talking with Coach Gaddis. The result of the play is a first down. Sideline warning. East Ridge. Coach
I think that's in Chattanooga, David.
Yeah, I think it is too. I think Coach Gaddis must have said something a bit. But it is a first down at the 24-yard line. 5:44 to play. East Ridge scoreboards, Wildcats, the ball is at the 24-yard line. 2 receivers split to the left, 2 to the right. At least the heater's working, though.
Heater's working. The Wildcats picked up another first down.
That's right. Wildcats Kendall Jackson from the 24-yard line of Summit, down 21-7 here. Showing blitz are the Spartans. Quick pass is going to be caught, or is it? It was intended out there to Jabryce Taylor. Incomplete. It'll be second down, 10 yards to go.
David, we've kind of had some good plays and really had some incomplete plays and passes and here and there. But this drive, it looks like the Wildcats are mixing it up a little bit more than you saw in the first half, which is something that you want to see because you really caught Summit off guard here, especially after that turnover.
Well, Kendall Jackson is running the ball really hard, too, and that means the offensive line is helping him out a great deal. Second down, 10 yards to go. The ball at the Summit 24-yard line. This drive starting after a turnover. As the Wildcats, Mitchell has time to pass. Goes in the end zone. Pass is going to be incomplete. Third down, 10 yards to go.
Yeah, it was a really nice play there by Preston Turner to kind of make an adjustment. It was supposed to be on a corner route. Well, actually, I don't know if it's supposed to be a corner route because Preston made a really good adjustment. But Mitchell basically put it where Preston could get it over toward the sideline in the end zone or nobody was going to get it. So really nice job there by Mitchell.
5 minutes, 16 seconds to play third quarter. The Summit crowd right here in front of us making a lot of noise. 21-7 is our score. It'll be third down, 10 yards to go. The ball's at the 24-yard line. Wildcats, I think they've got to get Jonathan Stewart involved here.
That, and I think it's 4-down territory.
Most definitely. 3 receivers to the left for Mitchell. Kendall, the lone running back. And Mitchell is going to run it, sacked. The hole opened up pretty big there. It's fourth down, sacked all the way back to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, and that was Keaton Wade. Or I'm sorry, it was not Keaton Wade. It was number 4 for them, Trey Hunter. Trey Hunter played that pretty well, realizing that it was a zone read and that it was not a handoff, so he played his position and stayed home there.
It's a good, well-coached team. They just don't make a lot of mistakes.
No, they don't make a lot of mistakes, and early in the first half, Oak Ridge made a lot of mistakes by putting themselves in bad position with penalties.
It'll be fourth down, 14 yards to go. The ball is at the 28-yard line. The Wildcats converted a fourth down for a touchdown earlier in the game. Need 14. They need to get to the ball to the Summit 15. Here comes the blitz. Once again, Mitchell has all day. Going to go across the middle. Pass is going to be almost caught for a touchdown. Man, in and out of Preston's hands. Might have had a deflection right at the goal line, but, man, that would have been 6 points, and, man, that would have been so big time.
Yeah, that would have been a huge play there by Preston Turner. I think it was just barely slightly underthrown by Mitchell, but Preston Turner had beat both of his guys over the top there.
I think it was deflected, actually, there, as the ball is going to be at the 27-yard line. So Wildcats can't take advantage of that turnover. A timeout is asked for, officially, a TV timeout. 4:25 to play. We'll take a break. Wildcats down 21-7. We'll be back in 60 seconds. David Clary back here along with James Branson, Lee Wexler, along with Christian Rosas Rodriguez, Matthew Charles, and what a great job they've all done all season long. Our camera guys, we've had Alex Baraxa, we've had Jordan Osborne can't be with us, Tyler Morris, John Oliver, Bryson Brown. Help me out here. What's that?
Kreischer.
Kaiser Schwartz. We also had Ben Dagman, I think, doing camera work for us at some point. And, we appreciate these guys. And, of course, Lee and William Wexler as well helping us out here. Yeah, they're family, though, so they don't count quite as much. And
Alex Myers tonight.
Yeah, Alex Myers. First down, 10 yards to go for Summit. The ball at the 28-yard line. 4:25 to play in the third quarter. Wow. big opportunity right there for the Wildcats. You know, the drop pass by Jabrice here kind of started the drive out kind of slowly.
Yeah, and that's not been good, and the Wildcats are running low on time here. There's roughly about 16 minutes left in the game, David, as another big play. Hopefully another turnover is going to happen here for the Wildcats.
Yeah, they turned the ball over several times last year against Central, and that was their demise, honestly, but a year better.
Well, and Wade's kind of fumbled it a little bit on several of these handoffs as well.
Well, it is cold for sure. First down, 10 yards to go from the Summit 27-yard line. Wade's going to pass. Pass is going to be caught. And trying to get wide, the Wildcats need to push him out of bounds. That's Jolly making the catch at around the 36-yard line. Had to get to the 38 for a first down. The Wildcats have struggled a little bit to get them down initially.
Yeah, and that was Switzer on motion there. Switzer came and blocked one of our defensive backs there, and the outside receiver also came up and blocked, and they were just trying to get it to Jolly very quickly. As it looks like we are having the ball step backwards here. Another penalty.
Another penalty. Middle Tennessee officials, illegal shift against the Spartans. And, you know, they've been called that at least 3 different times.
Yeah, and what's happening is they're calling it on the motion guy. So the motion guy is coming toward the line of scrimmage. After he crosses all the way across the field, he's coming up toward the line of scrimmage, basically a false start.
Wildcats trying to win their first state championship in football since 1991. And the Wildcats were here in 2005. Well, we were at Middle in 2005. It'll be first down, 15 yards to go. The ball stepped back to the 24-yard line. The Wildcats crash the line of scrimmage. Handoff is going for nothing. The Wildcats drop him right at the 21-yard line. Since the first quarter, they've really been very conservative.
Yeah, and as we have another flag here on the play for the hopefully it's against Summit and backing them up. One thing that's kind of impressed me here is Summit's kind of stopped throwing the football, and Wade is 6 for 6.
Yeah, I know. To me, I would just let him do anything he wants to do, honestly. He is the best football player that I have seen all year.
Yeah, the best player I've seen all year, and possibly, you know, he may be the best player I've seen in maybe a decade or so, David.
Chop block against the Wildcats, or hip below the waist. I mean, you don't see that on defense very often.
Maybe they're saying high-low on a lineman.
Maybe.
Somebody went high and low. I'm not sure. But usually that's an offensive call. That's not a defensive call that you see.
Now they can't really figure it out here. They're getting everybody involved here to see exactly what happened here. All I can say is right now the Wildcats are down 21-7. There's been a lot of calls in this ball game. As James,
I'm not exactly sure what they're discussing.
We aren't backing up. Although we are now. They are going to step yardage off, so they did, I guess, figure it out eventually. And, you know, I don't mind that. I like the fact the officials get together. They discuss it. Obviously, this didn't go our way. Is block below the waist on the defense. I mean,
I don't understand how you can have a block below the waist, because as a defender, you're taught to take on a block sometimes and create a pile. That's not a penalty.
Yeah,
that's not a penalty.
No, I agree. It'll be first down for the.
Terrible call.
And let's see it'll be first down at about 3. I'm looking for Coach Gaddis. He doesn't seem to be too demonstrative down there. Wade at quarterback. The penalty yardage is moved up to the 36-yard line, where it's first down and 2 yards to go. From that point, Destin Wade back to pass, cranks it. Bat is down at the line of scrimmage by Kai Hirsch. 3 minutes, 53 seconds. This is one opportunity, James, where my eyes, because of this lighting, I can see who they are here. But thank you. I appreciate that. You're basically saying you're old, your eyes are tired, and you can't see. James is spotting for me, but it's not hard to miss Kai Hirsch at 6'4".
No, it's not hard to miss Kai Hirsch, and he's having another great game. So, and you can't say enough about the senior and having a great game here toward the end of the season.
Second down, 3 yards to go, 3:53 to play, third quarter, 21-7, Summit here in the state championship game. Wade hands it off to the running back, and he moves the ball forward, and he has a first down pushback, but not before he picks up the first down. So that penalty, the little things like I talked about, have really hurt Oak Ridge.
Yeah, I would agree with that, David. And, you know, I just watching that there, it was almost a little bit of a fumbled handoff again between the quarterback Wade and his running back. He didn't want to let go of it. The running back did.
Ball's at the 40-yard line. They're moving right to left at the Summit 40. 3:34 to play in the third quarter. The Wildcats down 21-7. Destin Wade back to pass. Pressured, avoids a sack, then has to get rid of it. And The Wildcat fans wanted an intentional grounding. Did they get it?
They did not get it. Kai Hirsch, once again in there on the pressure for the Wildcats, came diving in, and all the coaching staff on the sidelines. I guess they're saying that Wade that got it out to a near receiver who was basically on a hitch route, but that was about 10 yards short of the receiver, David.
Wildcats got great pressure in there, almost got him down. He, like I said, he is so elusive. He's strong. He's a big kid.
Yeah, you know what, though? The Wildcat defense has made a lot of progress here in the second half and really has contained him, and they haven't really run it with him much, but they also haven't thrown it. They've tried to hand it off to various other players. I'd go back to him if I were them.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Once again for Summit. The Spartans moving right to left. Pressure again. Fires a pass across the way. Wide open. First down right in the middle of the field. The middle of the field's been open for them all night. First and 10, Summit.
Yeah, that's number 13, Pierce, once again on basically a skinny post route, splitting the safeties of the Wildcats. The Wildcats didn't have any safety help over top because they were blitzing a lot of people, so it was a lot of man coverage there as Wade was able to complete that for a long gain.
Wildcats have Brandon Hayward playing in the secondary. Ball is at the 28-yard line. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go. They're moving right to left, first and 10. Wildcats down 21-7, cannot give up any more points here. As hard as the Wildcats are to score, as the Wildcats stop him after a gain of about a yard or so on the play. The Wildcats, looks like Hayward there for the Wildcats. It'll be second down, and we'll call it 8 yards to go.
Yeah, and what's impressive about that is Brandon's playing safety, so he came crashing up from the basically free safety position because Cole Adams is rolled down as a strong safety, basically an extra linebacker to try to stop this run game.
Matthew Swigert in the secondary, Cole Adams along with Brandon Hayward, Preston Turner back there, the linebackers Kelly, Bervin, and Elam. Hand off to the quarterback hands it off. The Wildcats stop him again at the 25-yard line. It'll be third down and about 7 yards to go.
Yeah, David, it's pretty obvious here where the guards are doing because that was dippled on that play where the handoff went to for Summit. But the guards basically are kind of telling where they're going and where they're pulling. They're kind of backed off the line of scrimmage here for the Summit Spartans and basically giving away what the play is to the Wildcats.
Third down, 8 yards to go. The ball is at the Oak Ridge. We're not quite to the 25-yard line. The Wildcat lineman, Kai Hirsch, along with Jackson Adams, looks like Isaiah Boone, and who is the tackle on the left side there. It'll be third down, 8 yards to go. Quarterback, he might have been offsides again or had motion as the quarterback delivers the pass for a touchdown. There is a flag. The motion man, once again, it's going to be a legal shift. Once again, their motion man jumped off sides.
Yeah, and it looks like that they're getting on to number 9. Number 9 is the motion man for them. That's Zach Switzer. Switzer, that's about the third or fourth time that's happened to him. And, obviously the Summit head coach is pretty upset about that. And he was kind of giving Switzer their piece of his mind. That's Coach Coleman for them. And that's really going to cost them because it's not only going to back them up, it's going to put them in 3rd and 12, and it takes a touchdown off the board.
Most definitely, a minute 29 to play. The Wildcats in a 21-7 ball game. 4-down territory for the Summit Spartans here as once again they signal in a new play. The line of scrimmage now is at the 30-yard line. That guy is a really great quarterback. I'd love to be talking about our guys. We have a good football team too, but this guy just makes them go.
Yeah, and he's really impressive either through the air or rushing. He does a really good job of distributing the ball.
Third down, and now it is 12 yards to go. Ball is at the 30-yard line. I think that's the case. 3rd and 12. Quarterback, Wade's going to run it, moves the ball, and he's going to be tackled from the backside. It'll be 4th down, I believe, facing the Summit Spartans. A minute 22 to play. Jackson Adams there on the stop. I don't see any flags here. And I guess it's going to be against them again.
Yeah, David, and that's going to have to be maybe even a false start, something like that. So, Oak Ridge was the team that was getting themselves backed up and kind of shooting themselves in the foot here in the first half. And in the second half, it's really been all Summit, and they're kind of in their own heads about it, and many of the Summit fans are upset.
Yeah, the bad thing about it, though, James, is the clock continues to run here. They keep going backwards, and the clock keeps moving down.
And we've been on 3rd down for 3 different downs now.
Right, and they need to get the ball to the 18-yard line. Now it is at the 35. Summit fans have got to be upset, but obviously these shifts, I see them doing it, and they're good calls.
And it's the motion, man. That's what it is. If it's not working, then stop motioning.
Now the motion man's over to talk to the official once again. He's like, what am I doing wrong? Well, you're jumping off sides is what you're doing.
You're running toward the line of scrimmage. You're not allowed to do that. This isn't Canada.
Third down, and it looks like 17 yards to go, although the ball's at the 35-yard line. Man comes in motion. Destin Wade back to pass. Pressured. Fires it. End zone incomplete. Way overthrown. Fourth down facing him. Stops the clock with 51 seconds to play. Wildcats once again got pressured. They went to the middle part of the field. This time he overthrew him.
Yeah, David, and I'm going to steal a line from John Ward here. There are no flags on the field for the first time in a long time.
Fourth down, long. Fourth down, 18 yards to go. The ball is at the 35-yard line. The Wildcats need a stop here. Down 21-7. The Wildcats got to stop. When they recovered a fumble earlier, they're going to bring the punt team on. So the Wildcats do get a stop here. So it's going to be a field position battle here.
Yeah, and I think this is a smart call if your Summit Wildcat offense hasn't gotten much going. The Summit Spartan defense has played pretty well so far. If you can pin Oak Ridge back deep, that's going to put them in a bad position and maybe put the Summit defense in a good position. But hopefully Preston Turner, maybe he gets a good return here.
Delay a game is going to be the call against Summit. That'll be another 5 yards. That gives them a little extra room to work with.
That may have been on purpose.
Did they short out the heater here? It seems to have stopped. Did Lee kick it?
I'm not sure if it's the heater. I'm not sure if it's all these exposed wires. I'm not sure if it's our things that are plugged in. Who knows what's going down below with the heater?
All I know is Brian Bennett has kept us on the air through 3/4 of football here as the ball is now moved back 5 yards. Preston will stand at around the 15-yard line. The Wildcats down 21-7. 51 seconds to play in the third quarter. The snap is good. The punt is away, and it's going to be, I think, a touchback. It's going to be rolling. Oh, no, what a great punt. He got a great roll. It goes out of bounds to the 3. I thought when he first kicked it, it was going to roll into the end zone. He got a nice little left turn and it went out of bounds. Great punt.
Yeah, it was a really great punt. Kind of reminiscent, if you're a Wildcat fan, of 2004. Mac Johnson, had a really nice punt against Riverdale that put Riverdale at the basically the 3-yard line. So very similar to that. And I thought it had enough topspin that it was just going to keep on going, like you said, and hopefully the Wildcats would have been out of the 20. But it took a left turn, and the Wildcats are going to start at their own 3.
44 seconds to play third quarter. 21-7 the score. They put 21 on the board really quick against the Wildcats. Oak Ridge on offense once again, starting this drive. Mitchell's operating from the end zone with Kendall Jackson behind him, receivers left and right. First down, 10 yards to go, Oak Ridge. Kendall Jackson gets the handoff, and he gets a yard at most. Might have just barely got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down and long.
Yeah, and you know what was most impressive about that, David, was the other Wade, Keaton Wade, coming from his basically outside linebacker. He was up at a defensive end position, came crashing off the edge there to kind of get one hand on Kendall and was able to slow him up enough to allow the defensive line to make the tackle.
22 seconds to play, third quarter, 21-7 the score. Second down, it is 10 yards to go. They sneak up on the line of scrimmage, down to 14 seconds to play. Mitchell Gibbons at quarterback. Wildcats tail the lineman. Play clock is not even functioning right now as Mitchell dropped back to pass. Quick pass is caught. That is going to be Jalen Hayward complete at the 12-yard line. He needed to get, I think, to the 13, but that was the final play of the third quarter. 12 more minutes of football here in the state championship ball game. The Wildcats trail it 21-7. We're going to send it back to Brian Bennett. We'll be back with a fourth and final quarter in 2 minutes. David Clary back here along with James Branson, Lee Wexler, along with Brian Bennett, Christian Rosas Rodriguez, Matthew Charles, Alex Myers, Mike Sheehan with us. The Wildcats have it. Third down. Well, they're going to say that was a first down by Jalen Hayward, so first and 10 Wildcats. I think he was a yard short, I thought, but they say first down.
Well, we know the officiating hasn't been on point tonight, so who knows whose glasses they're using for that first down measurement.
Well, we'll go with it. I'm happy that we have the first down here. 12 minutes to play in somebody's season, both seasons. But one of them's going to be a state champion, and one of them's going to take home the silver ball. Once again, the Wildcats come to the line. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 13-yard line. Senior quarterback Mitchell Gibbons at quarterback. Wildcats down 2 scores here. Wildcats will get the play going in a second. The play clock is down to 16. It is functioning now as the ball is resting at the 13-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, Mitchell to pass. Quick pass. Oh, almost intercepted. Mitchell didn't see him at all.
That was Keaton Wade out there from his outside linebacking position, David. And as it looked like the Wildcats were trying to get out as quick as possible, pass play to, I believe that was Jalen Hayward there on a short out route, as that basically takes 3 seconds off the clock. So we are now at 11:57 left in the fourth quarter. It's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats, who line up 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Kendall Jackson in the backfield as Mitchell Gibbons takes the snap. Mitchell gives the handoff to Kendall. Kendall pushes and drives his legs as much as he can, but cannot get anywhere, as it looks like it'll be 3rd and about 10, as the ball is going to be marked at the 13-yard line, I believe. And the Wildcat offense really needs to get going here, really needs to maybe try to take a shot down the middle of the field or run some type of play action, maybe sprint Mitchell Gibbons out in some type of way to get him out into open field. It's going to be a long conversion, 3rd and 9 here, that they will need to pick up for the Wildcats with 11:20 left in the fourth quarter. 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Once again, Kendall Jackson right behind Mitchell Gibbons. Mitchell set to take the snap. 5 seconds left on the play clock. Mitchell takes the snap, goes over the middle to Jalen Hayward, but it's going to be intercepted. It's going to be taken by Summit all the way into the end zone for a score, and that is going to put Summit up 27-7 as Mitchell makes the Wildcats make a turnover here, and I believe that is number 11 for them. I'm having a little bit of trouble seeing here which defender that was. That was number 13 for them, which is Brady Pierce, who has had a really nice game for them as a receiver and now as a safety, picking off Mitchell Gibbons and returning it for a touchdown. 11:01 left in the fourth quarter. The extra point is up, and it looks like it's off to the left, but they say it is good. So that is 28-7. The Wildcats down to Summit here in the state championship game. We will take a 1-minute break here, and we will be right back. Wildcats down 28-7.
11 minutes to play in the ball game. Here's the kick by Summit. It's going to be fielded by the Wildcats at the 15, to the 20, to the 30. Jabryce Taylor to the 32-yard line, and that is where Oak Ridge will take over. First down, 10 yards to go. So now you're down 3 scores. 10:55 to play in the state championship ball game. You have got to score quickly.
Yeah, David, the probabilities are getting lower and lower for the Wildcats, but that is not impossible. The Wildcats can still make a comeback here and get it down the field. You got to pick up big chunk yardage and big chunk plays in order to keep moving the ball and put a lot of pressure here on the Summit defense.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is going to be at the 32-yard line. Yeah, I jinxed us, Brad. I'm sorry. 10:55 to play. Wildcats down 28-7 here. The ball's at the 32-yard line. Once again, Mitchell Gibbons will hand it off to Kendall, and just up the middle there. Wildcats, they really don't have time to run it. They're going to have to start moving the ball up the field with the air. I mean, if he breaks one right there, yeah, that's big time, but it's no gain.
No, and I think you got to start throwing the ball, and it's got to be a throw every play, because if it's incomplete, it stops the clock and it saves you a little bit of time.
Ball's at the 32-yard line, moving right to left here. 28-7 is the score. 10:27 to play. The Wildcats, once again, Kendall in the backfield. 3 receivers to the right. Single man to the left. Alex Myers is down on the field. We've got, along with Mike Sheehan and all of our camera guys, Mitchell to pass, rolls, looks, fires a pass. It's going to be caught. The Wildcats make the reception and try to get up the field, and they're going to be tackled at the 37-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 5 yards to go.
Yeah, on that play there, Mitchell Gibbons just sprinted out to his right, felt a little pressure there, and threw a curl route. I believe that's to Jalen Hayward there. Jalen Hayward have a pretty decent night for the Wildcats on special teams.
Brandon Hayward will be a receiver split to the left side along with Preston Turner. It's 4-down territory for the Wildcats. The ball is at the 37-yard line. 2 receivers to the right. The Wildcats down 28-7. 9:40 to play in the state championship ball game here at Tennessee Tech. Three-man front here. They creep the linebackers up just a bit. Mitchell to pass. Quick pass caught. First down and more. Moves the ball across midfield up to the 46-yard line. Jalen Hayward once again with the reception. 1st and 10 Wildcats at 10 Bank of Oak Ridge, first down.
Yeah, and on that play, Jalen Hayward was at the slot position, which he usually plays there, and the safety was playing off of him. A little short, easy completion for a hitch route, and he got probably about 15 yards, so nice job there. And those are the type of plays that you need to keep drives going.
Summit trying to win their first ever state championship. The Wildcats trying to win their first one in 29 years. 2 receivers split to the right, 2 to the left. First down, 10 yards to go for Mitchell. Mitchell will pass, incomplete. I think intended for Jonathan Stewart out there. Miscommunication. Second down, 10 yards to go.
Yeah, and it looks like what Summit's doing is they're playing with 3 down linemen basically and 2 linebackers. So they're putting 5 up front and dropping about 6 players to basically prevent the passing game, because you know that's what Oak Ridge is going to have to do to continue to move the football.
Ball's at the 46-yard line. David Calhoun listening to us and of course, with all the Calhouns we know of. 2 receivers split to the right, 2 to the left. Second down, 10 yards to go from the 46-yard line. Once again, Mitchell looking, quick pass, caught. The Wildcats move the ball down to the 20-yard line. Jonathan Stewart on the reception. 1st and 10 Wildcats.
Yeah, it's a really nice job there by Mitchell, seeing that open on a post route there, and really smart move, honestly, by Jalen Hayward. Jalen didn't go up and try to attack that and throw it off, because he was basically he let that one go, and he thought that may have been intended for him there.
From the 21-yard line of Summit, first down, 10 yards to go, 8 minutes, 40 seconds to play in the ball game. The Wildcats, receivers left and right. Mitchell's going to have to pass again. Fires it, end zone, passes there, almost caught at the goal line, incomplete. Jalen Hayward, intended receiver once again. Second down, 10 yards to go.
A little bit of a smash concept there by the Wildcats there, as Jonathan Stewart was the outside receiver, ran a curl route, and Jalen Hayward, who's been really good for the Wildcats on this drive, ran a shallow corner route there, just not able to get to it there right at the goal line. Pretty good defense, I think, by Brady Pierce, by the Summit team.
28-7 the score. We apologize. We had a technical issue here up in the booth here, and we missed that touchdown. I guess Oak Ridge fans don't care, but I mean, Wildcats right now, second down 10, the ball at the Summit 21. Still in the ball game. Wildcats quick pass, caught, nothing. Tackled at the 20-yard line. It'll be third down, 9 yards to go.
Jalen Hayward there once again on the reception, as it was a little screen pass, trying to get it out to him quick, maybe see if he can make a move or two and get past some defenders. He was able to, but he only picked up 1 yard on the play.
8 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the ball game. Summit trying to win their first state championship. Wildcats have a lot of work to do in 8 minutes. The Wildcats need to score on this play. Third down, 9 yards to go. The Wildcats, Brandon Hayward split to the left along with Preston Turner. The Wildcats have Jalen Hayward and Jonathan Stewart split to the right. Mitchell to pass, breaking down, in trouble, looks, fires it, passes incomplete. It'll be fourth down facing the Wildcats. That time Mitchell just had no place to go. They went to the short side of the field. He rolled that way. There was just nobody there, and a flag down on the play. Is it another? It's intentional grounding against the Wildcats. That's the third time that's happened to the Wildcat quarterback this season. Big play in the ball game.
Yeah,
James?
Yeah, David, and I think on that play there, Mitchell was trying to say maybe get it out of bounds to one of his closest receivers. Unfortunately, in high school football, you cannot intentionally ground the ball, even if you're outside of the tackle box. You can't do that in high school football. That's a college rule.
Yeah, he doesn't want to make mistakes there, but I think you just kind of toss it up and throw it into the end zone where you know receivers are.
Or just, into the end zone and maybe even through the end zone just to make sure that nobody can get it. But, I mean, you can't really fault Mitchell there for trying to throw it away and save the sack, but the penalty is going to get you the sack anyway.
Lost it down on the play, too, so it's fourth down and long now. Fourth down, 23 yards to go. Ball's at the 34-yard line. The Wildcats need a big play here. They need to give Mitchell time to throw it, and somebody's got to catch it. They need to get all the way down to the 12-yard line, and play is halted. Timeout is asked for by Summit. James, this is always a tough time. Right now we're down 28-7. This is the state championship ball game. If I were a betting man, I don't think the Wildcats have enough time. But What I want to say is, what a great season the Wildcats have had. Getting to this point, you've made it all the way to the final two teams in the state of Tennessee. They might not win the game, but what a great season.
Well, and I think Coach Gaddis made a really great point earlier this week and even last week. Who would have thought, 10 weeks ago, Oak Ridge sitting at 2-3 record on the season. Just about everybody had counted them out. Most people had counted Oak Ridge out against West, even really counted us out against South Doyle last week.
So, Ray County, too.
And, what a recovery by the Wildcats, and credit the seniors for kind of getting the group together and keeping everybody motivated. I mean, you don't win 9 straight games without doing something right.
Yeah, I was hoping that Lee's little trivia question that he gave me was going to come forth and actually be good. The Wildcats have not lost on a Friday all season long. They've lost 2 Thursday ball games, 1 Saturday ball game, and they're undefeated on Fridays. And I was hoping that was going to come to fruition here again, and it still could. We still have 7:44 to play here, but the Wildcats have got to get a big play here. They got to score right away. I mean, right now, they've got to do it.
Well, and obviously because it's 4th down, number 1. And I think one of the things, and I get why the Wildcats are leaving Kendall in a little bit to help with the blocking, but I think you go 5 wide receivers. You need to get as many athletes out on the field as possible that you can get the ball downfield too, and I think that's what you got to do to score.
The Oak Ridge offensive line has given Mitchell all day. I mean, hats off to them. That is a put-together offensive line. We've had so many injuries, starting with Walker Rice all the way on back. The Wildcats have struggled to keep their line intact, and they're giving Mitchell plenty of time here, but.
Well, and Mitchell is smart enough and quick enough, too, so when he gets in trouble, he can sprint out and still buy a little bit more time. So I think, putting 5 wide receivers on the field is the best option that you got here for the Wildcats.
Obviously, can't take a sack here. He's just got to throw the ball down the field. It'll be 4th down and 23 yards to go.
Yeah, and even if you throw an interception here, you throw the interception inside the 10-yard line. Maybe someone is smart enough to bat the ball down, but either way, give yourself a shot down the field.
Might get a pass interference. You just never know. You just cannot take a sack. As the Wildcats come up 4th down, 23 yards to go, they've got to get the ball down to the Summit 11. The ball's resting at the 34-yard line of Summit. They're playing deep just a bit. 4-man front, Mitchell, back to pass, has time, floats it. Pass is going to be pass interference right at the sticks, and Jonathan Stewart looked like he made a great catch right at the 11-yard line. It looks like it's a half yard short of a first, but if it's pass interference, James?
I'm not sure if it'll be a first down, but they're going to call a catch here for Jonathan Stewart. And what a play there, because Brady Pierce was coming on a tear from his safety position, and I'm not really sure if you're Summit how that happens, but it should be pass interference on the defense.
Let's see if it's enough to give them the first down. If it was, let's see, they are going to step it off here. You can hear the crowd not too happy. The penalty yardage is moved up to the 19-yard line, where it'll be pass interference. It is still 4th down and 8 yards to go. So the ball is at the 18-yard line, and here come the Wildcats to the line. I guess it wasn't a catch, they had to take the penalty because it was a half yard short.
I'm not sure if it was really a half yard short or if they even really looked at the spot there, David.
4th down, 8 yards to go, 7:37 to play in the season for both teams and the state championship game. Mitchell Gibbons, quick pass. Oh, man, he had him. It's incomplete to Jabryce Taylor, swinging him out of the backfield, and they'll take over on downs. I don't know that he would have made it for a first down, but he was open. He would have gotten pretty close to it.
Yeah, it was a really different look there for the Wildcats as they put Jabryce Taylor in at the running back position and swung him out into the flat there. He had 2 defenders, but he also had maybe a little bit of space to work with. Jabryce is very elusive and can run some people over as well, so maybe that's not necessarily a terrible call there for the Wildcats, as they basically told all the receivers just to run off.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 18-yard line. 7:33 to play in the ball game. 28-7, the Wildcats trailing here. The Wildcats need a stop on defense. I've said that all night. One thing I can say, the Wildcat defense really has bowed up since the first part of the ball game.
Really the first quarter and a half.
Handoff goes to the back, and he is met by Cole Adams and company, and they're going to drop him after a gain of about 2. 7:24 to play. Time is our enemy right now. That clock is the enemy of the Wildcats. It'll be 2nd down, 8 yards to go.
Yeah, 2nd and 8, and it's a really nice job there by the Wildcat defensive line and linebackers coming up and flowing and being able to make this stop there. You know, this probably really isn't what Summit wants to do, is run the ball. They're probably a little bit better when they get Wade out and throw it.
One thing I don't like is a lot of our fans are starting to leave right now. I know it's a long trip back here, but these guys have had a really, really fine season. Wade's going to get the handoff, and Wade's going to try to get up the field. He is going to be pushed out of bounds, and he's shy of a first down. He's going to go out at around the 26-yard line. You know, I know it's a long trip back to Oak Ridge, and I know it's a long trip. We have an older fan base too, but you know, these guys deserve to walk off the field to the applause of your fans.
Yeah, and even if the score isn't how you like it, you would the seniors have kind of laid it out all on the line, and to send them off in this type of fashion, even in the state championship game, would be something good to see.
It is 3rd down, 3 yards to go. The ball is at the 26-yard line. The Wildcats can't jump off sides here. They almost did. 6:46 to play. Need to stop right here. Down 28-7. They get a first down here. The Wildcats, their chances are nil. As the Wade's going to get the handoff. He's going to run it up the field, and he is going to get that first down right at the 29-yard line. Just barely slipped up there for a first down. This is a really good team. That's all I can say. Summit is very well coached. They're disciplined well. They do a lot of things well. As looking at the spot, he didn't get the greatest spot in the world. He didn't get the greatest spot, but they are going to say first down. So I thought where he actually got to, it was a first down, and they're going to give it to him.
Yeah, I think where he initially got to, like you said, the initial forward progress was pretty good, and I thought he got out maybe even past the 29-yard line. But really no surprise here that they're running it with Wade. Wade's their best player, probably has the most rushing yards on the team, really their go-to guy. Kind of reminiscent of T.C. Jennings from the 05 Ravenwood team, excuse me.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball's at the 29-yard line. They're moving left to right. 6:12 to play, 28-7. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge, as handoff goes to the back, and he is going to be tackled by the Wildcats. Cole Adams hits him first, finished off by Brian Kelly, the sophomore, and then a flag comes in. Now temperatures flaring a little bit down there. And, you know, Kai doesn't say much at all. Kai doesn't really talk. And the way they're looking at Kai Hirsch, maybe he said something or hit somebody. But it can't be Kai because he didn't talk.
No, and Kai really lets his play speak for itself, so it's not really something I would be very surprised if it was really any of our defensive linemen. The play was kind of away, and our guys have really been pretty smart all season about if the play's away from you, not really making a stupid mistake, and I just don't really think that our guys would do that.
28-7 is the score here. It is a dead ball foul after the play, unnecessary roughness against the Wildcats, and that's going to tack on some penalties. And, you know, you've had a great year. You don't want to make mistakes here, and you don't. And they have an offsetting penalty too, so it's going to stay right where it is. But bad news is there's 5:57 to play.
Yeah, and there's still time on the clock. You know, you still got a shot. There's still time on the clock. There's still basically half of the fourth quarter left to play. Obviously, it's not looking great, but if you get a stop here, you give yourself a chance.
Ball is at the 32-yard line here. 5:48 to play. The Wildcats have all three of their timeouts left. It is 2nd down and 6 yards to go. They'll take as much time off the clock, and now play is halted, and a timeout, I believe, is asked for. Coach, false start against Summit. There's been a ton of penalties called here. I was looking, somebody was sending us tweets here, and it was over 20, I believe, already.
It seems like the officials really want to be known for help being on the field during this game. I really have no other way of saying that.
Ball is at the 33-yard line, 5.5 minutes to play. Appreciate all of you listening to our broadcast all season long, and appreciate you staying tuned with basketball season coming up, obviously, as the handoff goes to the back, who picks his hole but didn't pick a good one. He goes down right at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, David, and that's going to set up 3rd and what looks like to be 9 here. I don't know if you run Wade out wide and try to get as much as you can. I don't know if you try to send somebody in motion. That really hadn't worked out well for him all night long. I think you put it in Wade's hands. I think you either let him throw it or run it. Give yourself a shot to pick up a first down. Why not?
28-7 is our score. 4:55 to play. Great season by both teams. The Summit team, they've only lost one ball game all season long. They come in at 13-1. The Wildcats have won 11 ball games this year and had a great season. Yeah, you get this far, it's a great season.
Yeah, either way you get this far, and it's an accomplishment, to be one of the top 2 teams in the state. You may not like the result in the end, but still a great season.
Third down, 9 yards to go, and delay a game. Going to be the call here. Another 5-yard penalty. That's on Summit, though. Maybe it was, because sometimes the play clocks are not working over there, so maybe he didn't know.
No, the refs have to throw it if it's at 0.
Right,
you can't really be upset at them for that, but, Summit, you just got to be aware of that.
I'm very disappointed in our fans, though. Look across there, James. Look at that.
No, but, you're proud of the ones that stayed. Those are the ones that you're really proud of. And our student section is here, and has stayed the whole time, so they're at least staying to send off the seniors the right way.
Ball's at the 25-yard line. It is now third down, 14 yards to go. 4:28 to play. Here comes Wade trying to run, cutting up the field. He's going to go down. So it's going to be fourth down and long, and the Wildcats are going to get the ball back. 4:16 to play. I've always thought you call your timeouts on defense because you can stop the clock on offense by incompletions and whatever. With not much time here, down 28-7, 4:05 to play. They'll let all the 27 seconds left on the play clock, I'm sure, before the Wildcats. And Oak Ridge will send Preston Turner back to receive the punt.
Yeah, David, as you mentioned, I think you should have called a timeout there if you're the Wildcats. Probably it would have been about 4:15 left on the clock, and said Summit's going to have the ball, and they'll be able to punt it about 3:35.
Here's the punt. It's high over to the sideline, and Preston didn't want to return it, but it does take a nice bounce. It goes out of bounds close to the 50-yard line, actually the 48-yard line. So the Wildcat offense on the field. First down, 10 yards to go, 3 minutes, 36 seconds to play. We'll be speaking to Coach Joe Gaddis at the end of the ball game. The heater's working again, James. That's one positive thing.
Yeah, I'm not really exactly sure. Again, like we said, maybe another wire shorting out down there. But the defense, credit the defense all night long. Since the first quarter and a half, they have not allowed a score, and they've really shut down Wade. Now, I don't know if that's not them not throwing the ball with Wade or not really running it, but the Wildcat defense has stepped up.
Ball's at the 48-yard line. The Wildcat offense on the field. 3:36 to play. Summit trying to win their first ever state championship, and this is a good team. A one-man wrecking crew, really. It's a really good team. They don't make mistakes. They just let him do his thing and don't make mistakes. As Mitchell rolls to his right, looks, fires a pass, incomplete. Intending it for Jonathan Stewart. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, David, as Mitchell Gibbons sprinted out to the left there, felt a little bit of pressure from, I believe, Trey Hunt on his left side there, and just tried to throw it out basically where Jonathan or nobody could get it. Jonathan coming back out on a little comeback route there for the Wildcats.
3:29 to play in the ball game. 28-7 is our score. Ball's at the 48-yard line. Jalen Hayward, Jonathan Stewart split to the far right. Brandon Hayward is a receiver to the left side. The Wildcats have one lone running back along with Mitchell Gibbons. Second down, 10 yards to go. Kendall Jackson with the carry and a first down. Moves the ball to the 39, but a flag goes down on the play.
Yeah, David, it looks like it's going to be near or at the line of scrimmage, so maybe an offsides, maybe a holding penalty here, but it was thrown pretty early in the run there, so not really sure what happened. It looks like it might have been on the left side of our line.
We saw some pretty good officiating in the last several weeks in the playoffs where they just let the teams play. They made some mistakes in the officiating, but this one, I agree with you. I think they've just called way too many. I don't know. There might have been a hold. You can call holding almost on every play.
Well, and it's not like that holding caused a huge, long breakoff run. That was probably a 9-yard run there. So if it was a hold, it wasn't something that was very effective. Not like it sprung Kendall for a 50-yard run. Just stop being part of the game, refs, and just let everybody play. Let the players settle it.
Second down, long. Scoreboard says 2nd and 10. It looks like 2nd and 20 as the ball is at the 39-yard line. The Wildcats, the body language, you can tell they think they've sensed it here. 3:16 to play. Wildcats have it. Second down, 19 yards to go. Mitchell at quarterback. Quick pass is going to be caught for a gain of about 3. Jalen Hayward there on the stop. 3 minutes to play in the ball game. 28-7 the score. So When was the last score they scored offensively?
Offensively, they last scored with almost halfway through the second quarter, 5:48 left in the second quarter. The lone score in the second half has been the interception return for a touchdown for Summit.
I mentioned this earlier. The Wildcats made too many early mistakes, especially on the offensive side of things. Third down, 14 yards to go. Summit fans still in it, watching their team get ready to win their first state championship. Two receivers to the right, 2:28 to play. Mitchell, lots of pressure. He's in a lot of trouble. He is going to be sacked. So they brought everybody in, and he goes down at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, David, as it looks like the Summit basically sent all of their front 5 or 6 on a blitz there, committed everybody to trying to get to the sack and played a lot of man defense and deep zone coverage there. As I agree with you. I think offense has kind of been the issue tonight, and a lot of it was just procedural penalties that got you backed up on early downs, and we just weren't able to recover from those.
The Summit fans realize that the Wildcats are going to put the punt team in, and that means the Wildcats are conceding the ball game to the Summit Spartans.
Yeah, David, it's 4th and really long here. The ball's at the 37-yard line. Wildcats putting them on notice that you guys had a great game and played a great game.
Minute 35 to play. Delay of game is going to be called against the Wildcats. Great season. These are always difficult. I've done a lot of ball games and state championship games, and only one team, Coach Pruden always said this, only one team is happy at the end of the year. And unfortunately, tonight was not our night.
No, it wasn't our night, but, credit the Wildcats that stuck around and believed themselves. And, like we said, you start 2-3. Nobody would have expected Oak Ridge to be here with a 2-3 start. And look how hard they played to get here.
4th and 27. The Wildcats are going to fake it, though. And they're not going to get a whole lot. There's flags are down. They're going to go down at the 30-yard line. You kind of expected that, honestly, as once again, we'll have to check the flags here. We've had one after another.
Yeah, and this one I think might be a holding call on one of the upbacks that on the fake punt there, and that is going to be the call. So the Summit Spartans will take over on downs after they decline, and there's 1:25 left on the clock, David.
I think I probably would have punted it right there, honestly, but, it's, Preston, we haven't seen him do that actually in a long time, though.
No, it's been a really long time, and it was really kind of early to mid of the season when the Wildcats started punting it or started faking the punt that it really worked out well for them. But great season for these seniors. You hate to lose, especially lose your last game, but what a great season! What a comeback they have had all season long.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball at the Oak Ridge 31-yard line. Handoff to the running back and fumbles the football, but they're going to recover it. Back here at the 38-yard line. I'm still into it. As long as there's time on the clock, there's still life in the old Cardinal and Gray.
Yeah, and there was a really kind of an interesting fumble because it looked like one of the Wildcat defenders basically put their shoulder right on the ball and it popped out. So possibly the Wildcats could have scooped and scored, but I believe number 53 for Summit fell on that there, one of their offensive linemen. 55
seconds to play here. The ball's at the 38-yard line. Second down, 17 yards to go. We'll have a complete recap of the scoring. We'll have a complete recap as that's some great sportsmanship. As they go to the victory formation, the Wildcats just shook hands with Summit Spartans across the line there.
Yeah, it was really good sportsmanship, and obviously if you're Summit, you don't want to turn it over here at the last second, so the easiest way just inside of 40 seconds is to take a knee. Unfortunately, that's the best formation in football. Unfortunately, it's just not the Wildcats taking that formation this year.
So we're down to 19 seconds to play. The final score of the ball game: Summit defeats Oak Ridge 28-7 to win the 2020 5A state championship, their first ever title. Good sportsmanship all around, shaking of hands. Summit's fans came in big numbers, and they are excited because they are the state champions. Tough game for the Wildcats against a really good Summit team. All you can say, really honestly, Coach Branson, is they outplayed Oak Ridge and they deserve this title.
Yeah, and absolutely. I think the MVP of the game has to be Destin Wade. He accounted for all of but one of their touchdowns, which was the interception. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, a passing touchdown. He really was able to pick and choose what he wanted to do. Not for lack of effort by the Wildcat defense, who played a really great game after about halfway through the second quarter.
Some of the Wildcats are down on the field, and they just kind of taking it in, the emotional side of things. Guys like Jackson Adams, who put so much into it, Isaiah Boone, seniors. But you've got to have the presentation of the trophies, and Coach Gaddis comes out and says, guys, I know you're upset here, but we've got to do things the right way. And they'll head to their sidelines, and they're about to have the presentation of the gold ball, which is going to go to Summit, and the silver ball to the Wildcats. And I see them being walked out on the field, and you can hear the Summit crowd here. They see those trophies coming. And tough night here if you're a Wildcat football player, fan. But you know what, Oak Ridge, as I've said over and over and over, they haven't lost since September the 17th when they lost to the West High Rebels, who they kept at home. West was predicted to get here, but the Wildcats kept them in Knox County tonight.
9 straight wins, David. Let's not forget that. 9 straight wins by the Wildcats, who did something really special and made it to their first state championship in 15 years. Was hoping to win. And just didn't go their way tonight. And I think you said enough. It was the little things all night long that kind of tripped up the Wildcats.
Yeah, and I think the experience. Summit was here a year ago. They learned you can't make mistakes and win state championships, and the Central Bobcats beat them. They came here a little bit more focused and a little bit more determined. And not that the Wildcats weren't determined. They obviously were. They wanted to win just as badly as Summit did. But, that experience goes a long ways, James.
Well, that experience goes a long ways, and it really goes a long ways when you have two really good potential D1 players in the two Wade brothers. And, Destin Wade, what can you say? They're both juniors. I wouldn't be surprised if Summit wasn't back here in a very similar position next year.
Oh, most definitely. They'll be back next year. They're hopefully we will too. The Wildcats are going to lose a lot of good seniors, though.
A lot of good seniors. You talked about Mitchell Gibbons, all-time leading passer in Oak Ridge history, touchdown, yardage-wise.
Single-season yardage, just about all of them.
Just about anything. You got Kendall Jackson coming back, but Jackson Adams, one of the leaders of the team. Cole Adams, who's been a really good standout for the Wildcats all year. Jonathan Stewart had a great year for the Wildcats. But you do have some of the other guys coming up, and hopefully the Wildcats can make another return to the state championship.
I think they're announcing the MVP, and I believe it was Destin Wade.
Who?
That wasn't hard to pick there. And let's get a close-up of him, Lee Wexler. And I believe he's right on top of it here as the MVP is selected, and he's getting his picture made by all the photographers here. Social distancing, even with photographers down there.
Yeah.
We're not our social distancing with our photographer. We're like shoulder to shoulder.
I think it's a little bit of maybe that's the heat that's going on in this booth. Maybe it's really not the heater at all.
I'm just afraid it was the sparks coming out of this heater here as the state championship is going to be announced here. I think the silver ball goes first. Unfortunately, we've had a few of those. It's two. Well, we've only lost 2 state championship football games. This one and the 05 ball game. And
I really don't have much to say about the 05 ball game. I'd rather talk about this one.
Coach Gaddis is coming out to the center of the field. The wind's picked up a bit. It's very chilly. It's very cold. Coach Gaddis is going to get his hand shaken by, it looks like Jody Wright, Fulton head basketball coach. And that was Jody, wasn't it?
It looked like Jody Wright. And Jody, he's a great guy and does a really good job with Fulton. And, he, I believe, is their athletic director as well. And he does a really good job as that position.
And here's the silver ball about to be presented to the Wildcats. Oak Ridge needs to come out there. It's going to be Jackson Adams out to accept the silver ball. I know it's a tough walk for him. I believe it's Jackson. Yeah, it is, 55. It's a tough walk for him. You talk about somebody who's laid it out all season long for the Wildcats.
Very tough walk for Jackson Adams, but he was the leader. He was kind of the captain that the Wildcats sent out there very late into the season. I get that they're social distance, but I would like it if it was possible for the entire team to go out and accept that, because Summit's going to go out and accept as a team as well.
Right, and now the head coach at Summit is going out to accept his championship plaque. It looks like his daughter is with him as well. 28-7 was the final score. The Wildcats have been defeated. Their season comes to a close. The Wildcats with an 11-4 record. And as you said, when they were 2-3, who would have ever thought they'd have been here?
Yeah, and, I'm going to be honest, I would not have thought that we would have been here. But, that's just the fight of this team. They've just kept fighting. Think about all the injuries, David. We've had a lot of line injuries. We've had, I think Jaden Williams went down earlier in the season. A lot of injuries, and what a nice response there by the Wildcats.
And out to accept the state championship trophy, number 11, and he holds it. And the pictures are being made. The Wildcats head to their dressing room, most of them. 28-7 was the final score. Congratulations to the Summit Spartans. They are the champions of 5A in the state of Tennessee. Tough game for the Wildcats. Let's talk about it here. The Wildcats struggled really a lot of times this season to kind of get their offense going. The Wildcats struggled in the first half. They didn't pick up any first downs till late. And they did that. The first down was on a penalty, and then the Wildcats had a nice little drive where they put it together, but the other drive stalled out. They recovered a fumble, weren't able to take it in and score. The Wildcats just couldn't get it done when they needed to. Credit Summit. Summit's the state champions. They're a good football team. But the Wildcat offensive woes kind of hurt them, and you just can't have mistakes, as we said. And tough loss for the Wildcats. But, Summit, very deserving.
Well, obviously very deserving. And, if the Wildcats are able to cash in on that fumble for a touchdown, it obviously makes it a 7-point game, and the Wildcats aren't having to throw very late in the game. They can kind of run their own offense and not necessarily have to throw and commit the interception that eventually put Summit up by 21. But, credit the Wildcats for coming back out and really kind of enjoying the moment here. Or as best you can. Getting to this point is always special. You never want to finish second, but the fact that the Wildcats, as we said, everybody counted them out and made it this far is pretty special.
Think about all the teams that never, ever make a state championship ball game. Think about that. And we're disappointed, obviously, because, we're both Oak Ridge High School graduates, and but like I said, this is the 15th time I've called a state championship in either football or basketball. Our high school has been pretty darn good in sports.
Yeah, and David, I think we've been really great at sports. Cross country's been great, basketball's been great, boys and girls both have been great. Track, we've had some individual and some team track state championships. So we've had swimmers and tennis, and obviously football. We have an amazing program. And, in Oak Ridge, we don't hang up runner-up banners. It's either a state championship or nothing. And, I think that's a really high standard that we have. But I think that's a special standard because of how high our expectations are.
I'm not really sure, I guess, what's happening here. I think they're going to have to take a team photo. As much as the Wildcats don't want to be out on the field right now, they have a runner-up, and it goes in the program, and it goes on the website. And they're disappointed. You can look at the back. There's some seniors who are not too happy and don't really want to be involved, but just one of those things you got to do, James.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that you got to do. And I'm going to be honest, David, I'm glad that in 2005 we didn't have to do that. I think we were all ready to. I definitely understand the hurt and disappointment that you feel, not because of your effort, but just because you weren't able to complete the job. And that kind of hurt and pain really doesn't go away. It sticks with you, but what sticks with you even more is these relationships. These guys built relationships over 2, 3, and 4 years that are never going to go away, and that's something special. There's teams that didn't make it this far that guys are still best friends that played at Oak Ridge together, and that's something that's really cool about being a Wildcat. You're always going to have that connection, and the 91 team was pulling for them, the 05 team was pulling for them. Every team before
75 team, the 79, the 56, the 58, all the state champions.
Well, and how many posts did you see on Facebook and Twitter all week long? Like, I remember when my team went, or I remember when we went when I was a sophomore. My brother was on this team. It's such a great tradition at Oak Ridge that we have, and to make it this far and all the support that you have from all the former Wildcats is so special.
James, help me down here. Alex Myers is down on the field. He's going to have some interviews here. We're a long ways up here. The Summit team is trying to get into their dressing room. The Wildcats are now finally allowed to head to their dressing room. There are some being interviewed by, and you got to feel like for Mitchell Gibbons down there as you look in the corner, he's going to be inundated by every, the Nashville Tennessean. He's going to have to sit there. But that kid is as poised and as classy as it gets. I mean, he doesn't talk much. He's not a talker. He's a smart kid. He has all the passing records now at Oak Ridge High School, and he's going to have to do it. And he's going to play college ball. As it looks like Coach Gaddis is down there amongst others. You might want to get the binoculars out. What do you see down there? I see Coach Gaddis being interviewed. I'm looking for our guy.
I believe it looks like there's some of the news teams are down there that are interviewing Coach Gaddis. It doesn't necessarily look like Alex Myers, our guy, as as you said, Mitchell, what poise, what a great player. A guy, he was a 2-year starter, and in 2 years he broke all these records, David. I think that goes to how special he's been over these 2 years. And he even came in some as a sophomore year when Herbert got hurt in some of those games. So, Mitchell, I mean, what a great player that he is, and he's a guy that we need to celebrate as a record-breaking passer.
Yeah, he broke some really good quarterbacks' records. Bradley Zulliger, Johnny Stewart. He went all the way past Mike Underwood. I mean, all the quarterbacks that we've had in 70-plus years of football. Of course, nowadays we're passing the ball a lot more, but Connor Goldmeyer, Jared Tharp, all those guys.
He broke Jared Tharp's record early in the season for passing yards.
Very good game.
And he broke there's just about no record out there that he doesn't have and hasn't broken it, whether single game, career. He's a great player, great kid, and we're going to send it down to Alex Myers right now.
With quarterback Mitchell Gibbons. Mitchell, you just played your last game. It's impossible to make it further than you guys made it. I know it's not the outcome you guys wanted, but what was it like to play here on this stage?
Yeah, it was unbelievable because, no Oak Ridge team has made it here in the last 15 years. And, just to get here, I mean, we started off 2-3, and everybody wrote us off, and everybody, said we weren't even going to make the playoffs. And just to get here, I mean, third round we beat West, the best team in the state. And, it's been a long journey and a long season for our seniors. But I'm proud of where we were. But, obviously you want to come out on top. But, just to get here is unbelievable.
The fans that came out and supported, I know there was a lot of them. I know they were opinionated at times, certain ones, but they came out here and braved the weather. What would you say to those folks maybe in their car right now who obviously disappointed as well?
Yeah, I'm sorry for letting the fans down. They came here to see us win it, and we didn't do that. But, I'm thankful we have fans that can come all the way out here just to support us. So.
Thank you for your time. And Mitchell, I just want you to know from everybody at Prep Radio and all the fans, you guys didn't let anybody down. You guys played your hearts out, and unfortunately somebody's got to lose.
Yeah.
But there's no doubt in my mind, and no doubt in I'm sure yours as well, even if you don't realize it at this moment, that you made everybody in the city proud. So thank you, and congrats for a great season.
Thank you.
Jackson, Dave, let's send it back up to you just for a moment, and then as soon as we have Coach Gaddis, we'll take it right back down here. So stay tuned. David, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Alex. Hopefully we'll get Jackson Adams and Coach Joe Gaddis here as we see Mitchell wandering off the field all by himself. Good show, man. Lee is right on top of it. Lee Wexler, he's done a great job. And poor old Mitchell's got to be interviewed by yet another guy here. They normally have the interview rooms, and here comes I thought Jackson was going to free. They normally have an interview, but because of the COVID and the spacing and all that, they're just not able to do it the way they normally do. And, 28-7 was the final score, James.
Jackson Adams. Jackson, your dad played here, principal at the high school now. You've gone here 4 years, quite the legacy. And I know there's a lot to think about right now, but what did this game, just being able to play in this game, mean to you tonight?
It meant everything. We weren't supposed to be here, like I said in all my interviews tonight, but we weren't supposed to be here, and no one had faith in us. We were predicted to lose every single round of the playoffs, and to be able to come here and play with my guys, my family, I mean, it means everything. And obviously we wanted to win, but just being able to have this experience, to be able to play here my last season with my family, like my brothers, I can't express to y'all how close we are. And
with the exception of those COVID.
I just love them so much. So I know it meant a lot to everybody, and everybody, regardless of the loss.
When he's done.
Well, it's like I told Mitchell Gibbons a minute ago, Jackson. There's only 2 teams that make it here, and you set out 6-8 months ago at the beginning of the season, off-season workouts. You could not have possibly made it any further than you guys did. So I know you guys have got a lot to hang your hats on. I just, this game, I know it's a lot to process right now, but when you look back at this in a week, in a year, in a few decades, when you get your team reunion, what did this season, what did this special run you guys went on after starting 2-3, what does that mean to you, if you could sum it up just in a few words?
In a few words, it's nostalgic. Freshman year, we were undefeated. And it just felt like I was a freshman again playing with all those guys. So,
Jackson, I appreciate your time. Go get your head held high. I know you made the entire city proud.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jackson. We're going to send it back to you, Dave. Coach Gaddis is finishing up his final interview, so just within the next moment or so, we'll send it right back here for Coach Gaddis.
Alex is waiting for Coach Joe Gaddis to get done with his final interviews down there. Here in a moment, we'll speak to the head coach of the Wildcats. I know he's devastated. I was telling somebody today, even if we had won this ball game today, as Coach Gaddis is done, Alex has got to go track him down there. Even if we had won today, he'll be depressed tomorrow because football's over. That's just the way he is. I mean, it doesn't matter if they win it or not. Maybe one day, but the second day when they don't have practice, he's depressed. As Coach Gaddis is about to join Alex Myers, he's coming over to talk to him. And let's go down to the field to Alex Myers.
All right, with Coach Joe Gaddis. Coach, I know there's a lot going through your mind, a lot of emotions especially, but just kind of talk about the game just briefly, if you would, and how things went tonight.
Well, I mean, they obviously jumped out to a quick start, which is what we wanted to do. But offensively, they had their way with us for a little while in the first quarter. There, got up 14, and then our defense settled down, did some pretty good things. Offensively, though, we didn't get enough going in the first half to get our defense off the field. Finally, at the end of the half, we got something going offensively. Cut it 21-7 with the knowledge we get in the kickoff in the second half. You're thinking, well, do something in the second half, you can maybe knock it to 21-14, but that didn't happen. And ultimately we moved it a little bit in the second half, but the interception, pretty much put it out of reach at that point. But our guys fought and did some good things. We just didn't quite. We didn't play our best game tonight. They had a lot to do with it. They're a heck of a team, but you can't spot a team like this 21 and expect to realistically to beat them.
Yeah, you talked about the fight, and you see teams a lot of times when stuff doesn't go their way in a big game like this, you start hanging your heads early. I thought your guys, although it may not have showed up on the scoreboard, I did think that your guys hung in there, especially on defense. You guys just kept fighting, kept fighting long enough to where, honestly, even kind of midway through the fourth quarter, you were just a play or two away from really thinking you're back in this. Talk about the fight that this team and these seniors showed.
Well, I mean, they've fought all year. They were, as we've talked about for weeks now, they were 2-3 September 18th and came roaring back, won 9 in a row, got in position here to perhaps win a state championship. And in this game, we fell behind. They fought and clawed because this game could have gotten nasty, a battle. I mean, it could have been a 42-7 game, but these guys are not going to let that happen. They're going to fight and fight and fight, especially the guys on defense. Not just like the offense, but the defensive guys fought and fought and fought. And, the last touchdown was basically on our offense. So I told the defense and told the team if we could shut them out in the second half, we had a shot to win the thing. We actually did. But our offensively, we had the interception, pick 6.
Seniors, I know you can't name them all right now, and we don't have enough time to go through every one of them, but as a group collectively, undefeated freshman year, Jackson Adams talked about that. He talked about the family atmosphere and how tight these guys were. He got a little choked up. Yeah. Talk about the seniors and how special they were.
Just so special. What Jackson said, whatever he said is right, because they are probably as close a knit a team as I can remember having in a long, long time. I'm going to miss the heck out of this bunch. Like I've said several times in recent weeks, they're fun, they're close, they're truly a family, and it's hard to bring this to an end, to be quite honest, because I wanted to win this game, but I hate like heck to see these guys leave because I love being around them.
Coach, last thing before I let you go, I know you've got important things to do in there and talk to your team, but the last thing would just be this, looking back at this run, getting back to the state for the first time with you in a couple of decades, for the first time at Oak Ridge in about 15 years. When you came back to this program, I'm sure one of the things you envisioned, your ultimate goals, was to get here. Obviously, you wanted to win it, but you couldn't have made it any further than you guys made it tonight. Talk about what the run meant to not just this team in particular this year, but the program.
Well, we want to play 15 games, as many times as possible. But getting here, especially the way we started, means a heck of a lot to this program. I thought the city supported us very well, despite the slow start. But it means a lot for Oak Ridge, just the name Oak Ridge, to get back playing for a state championship and hopefully winning one sooner than later. But it means a lot, a whole lot, because of who we are.
Made us all proud, Coach. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
David, tough to end things that way, I'm sure. I know you guys have talked about it and will some more probably, but I'll send things back to you from the field. David, James.
James, that about does it here. We're going to wrap it up. The state championship goes to Summit. They will be a 6A school next year. They will not be in our classification, but a great season they've had, and congratulations goes out to Summit. That about does it for all of our football broadcasts this year. Obviously, we'll have basketball continuing forward. Hopefully, we'll have a basketball season. I'd like to thank everybody. I mentioned all the camera guys and all the sponsors for sure have been with us most of the time, but we've had a lot of camera guys. We've had a lot of people. Jared Tharps helped me on the air. Spencer Goldmeyer has helped me on the air. Mike Sheehan, Alex Myers. James, great job once again. Mark and Shauna Hayes, obviously, our statisticians. We're sorry they couldn't make it here. William and Lee Wexler, Christian Rosas Rodriguez, Matthew Charles, Kaiser Schwartz, Tyler Morris, Ben Dagman, Alex Waraxa, John Oliver, Bryson Brown. Have I forgotten anybody?
That's all I can think of. We appreciate all of them. They do a great job for us.
Yeah, and we appreciate David Kolodny at Channel 15 for allowing us to get on the air with him, and Brian Bennett, obviously, the station. Final score of the ball game, the state championship goes to Summit. The final score, 28-7. For all the people I mentioned before, our next broadcast will be a prep radio game on Tuesday, Oak Ridge and Carnes. This is David Clary saying, so long, everybody.